Coming up on Sky Sports 1 tomorrow night, live boxing as Neville Brown defends his British middleweight title against Scotland's Willie Quinn. The programme gets underway at 8:30 p.m. Here on Sky Sports 3, we're in Lancashire for the Northwest Derby between Burnley and Bury at Turf Moor this evening, and the whole of the game is coming up live for you. Burnley have lost 3 of their last 4 league games, and Bury have only lost 3 from their last 29 league games. Both these clubs like to score goals, and the fans getting into the ground. Turf Moor, the venue, of course. They're looking forward to this. It's a big game for both sets of fans tonight, and very important in terms of their position in the league as well. Now, we're looking forward to another cracking live match, of course, tonight. Our live games have provided us, you know, with plenty of drama, and if we're lucky, we might just hit the 100-goal mark this evening. I hope so. 96 goals so far in our live nationwide games, and here they all come in the next 2.5 minutes. See if you can spot your favourite.
More magic from King Clancy. Moments going in. Good try! Oh, that's a special finish. Instead, they're trying to place it, and it's there! The man with the cross, looking for Sheeran! You never write this man Sheeran off! Simons has let it go. Ball could be through here, and is. Vintage Chris Waddle. That is sparkling. What a great finish from Hopkins. No stopping that one. Well, that's it. Game, set, match.
Really great stuff. 96 goals packed into 2.5 minutes, and they were all there, you know. Oh, yes, they were. Hope you spotted your favourite. And hopefully Turf Moor providing the setting for a few more tonight as we head towards our 100 live goals on our nationwide games. Burnley against Bury is the live match this evening here on Sky Sports 3. Just one of some excellent live games that we've got lined up from the 3 nationwide leagues in January. Coming up next Friday, a really big game for you. Sheffield United against Wolverhampton Wanderers from Bramall Lane. Both clubs believe that they should be in the Premier League, and they're doing everything they can this season to try and get back in the top flight. January the 24th, 7 o'clock from Bramall Lane. It's exclusively live. What a game. Sky Sports 3. Now, on Monday, January the 27th, we bring you Monday Night Football. We're on the air at 7 on Sky Sports 3. It's a derby game. Luton against Watford from Kenilworth Road. That's on Monday, the 27th of January. And we catch up with the 3rd Division leaders, Fulham, when they play Cardiff from Craven Cottage on January the 31st at 7 o'clock, also on Sky Sports 3. Looking forward to those games, but Burnley are our hosts tonight, a club with a great history and tradition, and let's find out a little more now in the latest edition of Ground Rules.
Slowly shifting, gently drifting in your arms, I'm quietly breathing, silent dreaming, thinking, yearning, hoping for a better journey, understanding what I'm planning. You're so blind you flounder, drowning. Moving closer, floating over, sinking into seas of colour, feeling lighter, darker, brighter, consciousness begins to falter, holding you I start to wonder, pull you out or drag you under. Breathe deeper, daydreamer. Slowly shifting, gently drifting in your arms, I'm quietly breathing, silent dreaming, thinking, yearning, hoping for a better journey, understanding what I'm planning. You're so blind you flounder, drowning. Breathe deeper, daydreamer. Moving closer, floating over, sinking into seas of colour, feeling lighter, darker, brighter, consciousness begins to falter, holding you I start to wonder, pull you out or drag you under. Breathe deeper, daydreamer.
Ground Rules featuring Burnley Football Club. They have passionate fans in this part of the world. Burnley, one of the great names over the years of English football, formed in 1882. Turf Moor, the home of the Clarets, as they like to call themselves, and they're playing Bury tonight. And the fans are beginning to get ready for what will be a fierce local encounter, make no mistake about that. Now let's hear from the Burnley fans and find out what they've got to say about their club. We'll start off with the good things first.
Fans are brilliant. They really get behind the club, no matter what situation they're in. They're brilliant fans.
Adrian Heath, he's great. Yeah, he's a good manager.
Well, I just think they're just great. Like, the club's brilliant and everything. It's great. I really like the manager and David Ayres and Paul Barnes.
The stand and Paul Barnes.
They score cracking goals. They've got a great ground and brilliant players.
Stands are good. Ayres is a good winger. We're going up and Blackburn are going down.
What would you say is the worst thing about the club? The away form of the club, because we haven't really got much of a away form. We're always losing and drawing away. I mean, when you're listening to it on radio, just expect them to lose.
Only the division that we're playing. Obviously, we'd like to play in the Premier Division.
Well, the prices, the seating policy probably. I mean, it's getting a bit expensive for the ordinary fan now. Probably I'd like to see more players coming in, but, you know, it's finances, isn't it?
I love it, love everything, die for the club, live and die for the Clarets. Hey, man.
Oh, we don't want you to die, but it just emphasises the weight of expectations, Sam, for a club like Burnley. It's great. We've just seen from those fans, they don't want to be in the second division.
No, not at all. And it can be a long walk from the dugout at Turf Moor, because I've seen Jimmy Mullen in his last couple of weeks or so at Burnley, who did a fantastic job there, getting 2 promotions in 3 years. But that's a long walk from the tunnel when it's not going so well, and the Burnley fans let you know if they think the team's not playing well, and that's the expectations that Adrian has to live up to, and I think he's coping very, very well with it, because he hasn't had that much money to spend, like they say. He bought Barnes, he probably, with all the money he had, and Damien Matthew, but the rest have been frees, like Clegg and Overson, and, you know, he's got them up there.
Good to see some nice young fans talking to us as well. They've all got opinions, and they all count, of course. Now, talking of things that count, we must get the team news, and we can bring it to you now. Our man George Gavin is at Turf Moor.
Good evening, Russ. A few changes this evening. Burnley lose Marlon Beresford, their goalkeeper. His mother sadly died this week. Kurt Nogan, the top scorer, is recalled, although he's seeking a transfer. And John Ward, the assistant manager to Adrian Heath, is absent tonight. He has flu. He was actually on the short list for the job at Notts County, which Sam Allardyce got this week. And for Bury, John O'Kane is on loan from Manchester United. He comes back into the team. Mark Carter, the top scorer, though, is dropped to the bench. Adrian Randall makes his full debut against his former club. Let's have a look first of all at the Burnley team. In goal, Wayne Russell takes over, although he's on the transfer list at Burnley, his 6th appearance of the season. David Ayres returns after flu. Glenn Little was signed from Glentoran. He was last season's Irish Player of the Year. Paul Barnes cost £355,000 from Birmingham. He's top scorer with 13 goals. He scored 5 against Stockport this season. And Kurt Nogan was dropped before Christmas, put a transfer request in. He's back in the team now. He's the brother of Lee Nogan. And Stan Turnant picks this team for Bury. Stan actually began at Burnley, his playing career, and lives in the town. John O'Kane, second spell on loan from Manchester United. He's 22 years old. Ronnie Jepson scored 5 goals this season. Used to play at Huddersfield, Port Vale and Exeter. Lenny John Rose, once at Blackburn, was sold by Kenny Dalglish. Adrian Randall, brought from York City in December, played here last season for Burnley. And with me is the Bury manager, Stan Turnant. Stan, first of all, why Mark Carter on the bench?
Because I'm going with Matthews, Jepson and David Johnson.
Not happy, though, with your top scorer?
Absolutely delighted with him.
But not tonight, obviously, to start with. Are you the shock troops, the surprise team of Division 2, Stan?
Seem to be to everyone else, yeah.
To you?
Not to me now.
Can you make 2 promotions in succession, do you think, realistic?
Well, I don't know. That's what we're trying to achieve.
How special is this game for you, Stan? Because, as I say, you were a player here and you live in the town still, don't you?
Yeah, I have a soft spot for Burnley Football Club because they're impressionable years for me. But it's not any more or less important than any other game. 3 points at stake, so I'm looking forward to it.
Is it a tense night for you tonight?
No, I'm okay.
6 games without defeat. Do you take that into tonight's game with a boost?
No, it doesn't mean a great deal, lad. Start again in about 15 minutes and see what we can do.
Are you always this cagey?
I didn't think I was being cagey. I'll give you my team and you know what's happening.
OK, all the best tonight.
Thanks very much.
Thanks
George.
very much.
Cheers. Thank you.
I'm glad you're easier to talk to, Dave and Sam. I tell you, he was having to work hard there, George, wasn't he, for a minute? Stan Turnant, though, is Mr. Bury, isn't he? He's done a great job.
He's done a terrific job. You know, I mean, he took over last year and he took the team forward. They got promotion and he's carried on. He's got the team rolling on again. And it's not a surprise to me. You know, I was at Sheffield United last year and we lost to Bury in the Coca-Cola Cup and they were very strong. And when I went up there with Crystal Palace this year, I was concerned that we were playing them. And we played very well. We had to play very well over the 2 legs to beat them. And they're a difficult side. They've got a good spirit about them and there'll be nobody's mugs, whatever anybody says. And I expect them to be there or thereabouts at the end.
Stan gave a good answer to George when he was asked about Mark Carter. Are you surprised he's on the bench?
Well, I am a little bit because you look at the team and Mark Carter scored the goals, but you know, that's what managers have paid decisions to make, and obviously it looks like you know, Stan's going to play a slightly different system to what he's done previously, and obviously he's taken that into account against Bury, and he's obviously decided this is his best formation and his best 11 to win the game.
Well, we should see how it shapes up in the game. Kick-off not too far away. Let's give you a quick check on the main football headlines of the day. Bruce Grobbelaar has told Plymouth boss Neil Warnock that he wants to play tomorrow. Despite being in the middle of his court case, Warnock has to decide whether Grobbelaar is in the right frame of mind before naming his side to face Peterborough at London Road. Terry Venables has described as insulting the jibe that his new job as coach of Australia is the soccer equivalent of coaching the Jamaican bobsleigh team. Venables is preparing for his first game in charge against New Zealand tomorrow. FA Chief Executive Graham Kelly is behind moves to overhaul the domestic transfer system in the light of the Bosman ruling. Under the new system, any out-of-contract player over the age of 24 will be available on a free transfer within England. Now, it looks like the weather has been kind this weekend with a full set of fixtures scheduled, and thus far no postponements. We'll keep our fingers crossed that there won't be any. But of course, the recent cold snap does mean a busy week of cup football is coming up. And we've got some terrific live cup ties for you to enjoy over the next week or so. Wednesday, January the 22nd at 7:30 in the League Cup, the 5th round, Stockport play Southampton at Edgeley Park. That's exclusively live on Sky Sports 3, and of course Stockport, one of our nationwide teams, will be keeping a sympathetic eye on whether they progress or not. Thursday, January the 23rd at 7:30, we're in Scotland for the 3rd round of the Tennant Scottish Cup. Hibernian take on Aberdeen from Easter Road. You can catch that one on Thursday on Sky Sports 3. And on Sunday, January the 26th at 1 o'clock, 4th round of the FA Cup, Kenny Dalglish and Newcastle against Nottingham Forest from St James's Park. That would be a cracking game. It's exclusively live on Sky Sports 1. And by the way, because of that Scottish Cup tie on Thursday, I must just point out a change of our time for our review show. Could you note that the starting time for 1 week only is 4:30 on Thursday afternoon. But our live match tonight is Burnley against Bury in Nationwide League Division 2. And kick-off not too many minutes away. And we'll have a look at one or two of the players. Paul Barnes, of course, somebody we've been talking about tonight, Dave, and his amazing feat earlier in the season. How good a player do you think he is?
I think he's done very well over the period, and I think he's extremely good in the division he's playing in. That's why I think Barry Fry took him from York to Birmingham. He felt that he could take this step up, but it hasn't worked out for him. But I would think he's delighted with the move that he's gone. And as I say, I think he's important to Burnley because he can weigh in with the goals. He's got a good record at that level, and I think he's important to Burnley.
Kurt Nogan's back in the Burnley side this evening. We've heard so much about him this season. I'm looking forward to watching him play tonight. I don't know about you, Sam?
Yes, excellent player. Burnley struggled for most of last season with Jimmy, but he ended up leading goal scorer with 25 or 26 goals, and I think he's one of the best finishers in this division. So it's a fearsome partnership, him and Barnsley up front. And I mean, Barnsley for me is over the years proved to score more goals in that division than most players, and that combination be very, very good.
Mark Carter is on the bench tonight for Bury, the visitors, and Ronnie Jepson is going to play, Dave.
Yeah, well, Ronnie's a handful. He did really well for Huddersfield last year, and you know, he's put a little bit of weight around his bot, but he likes that because he backs into people and he causes problems, and he's very enthusiastic and everything else. And you know, he's got a free kick in his bag and his box, you know, that he can produce every now and then. And you know, I'm expecting him to be in the thick of things.
He's your type of player, isn't he?
Yeah, I like Ronnie Jepson. You know, I think he's a lively, competitive individual.
He was Huddersfield's Player of the Year in the season 94-95, so he's been around a bit as well. Now, first to score in tonight's game. Who do we fancy? Who would Dave and Sam put their money on, I wonder? Barnes and Nogan are the joint favourites at 9-2. Jepson 7-1, and Nigel Cleghorn of Burnley is 12-1. So, gentlemen, how do we think the game is going to go tonight? Sam, I'm going to put you on the spot and ask you for a prediction.
On the spot, ask me for a prediction. Very close, I think. But I think goals are going to be scored, and I'll go for an outrageous 2-2.
Okay. Well, we're going to get 100 goals then, yes, live. And Dave, what do you make of tonight's game? Who are you going for, Burnley or Bury, or a draw maybe?
I think it's going to be very tight. I've got a feeling in Walter that Burnley are going to win it.
Okay, that's what the boys think. Let's join our Sky Sports commentary team for the match this evening, and it's Alan Brazil and Rob Hawthorne.
Well, of course, Alan Brazil scored a goal here at Turf Moor. You wouldn't expect anything less, would you? But it's a grand and great tradition, isn't it? 0-2, was it? Yeah.
Last time I was here.
So take us through your memories of those goals.
No, it was a cracking night. League Cup, Man United. One of a few goals for Man United. Rare goals, I should say. It was a lovely night. Great atmosphere. League Cup, got a couple. Very friendly club. Great tradition. And it's great to be back. Lovely playing surface as well.
Really, though, you have to say that they haven't maintained that tradition with their league placing in recent times. But let's take a look at the sort of team that they're going to be turning out this evening. And Flew keeps Burnley's assistant manager John Ward away from the game this evening. But wing-back David Ayres has shrugged off the virus, so he displaces Chris Vinicum after the defeat by Bristol City. And Kurt Nogan, who's recently been in dispute with the club, comes back in to replace Andy Cook.
I think it's quite important. It's a big game for Burnley tonight. They can leapfrog their near rivals Bury, and I'm glad to see Nogan back in the side. Nogan playing alongside Barnes there. Nigel Cleghorn, good left foot. He'll be trying to orchestrate things from the centre of midfield, trying to get the service to the likes of Barnes and Nogan.
Bury wing-back Dave Pugh broke his arm in Monday's 6-0 auto windscreen shield win against Mansfield, and he's out for the rest of the season. So John O'Kane's return for a second loan spell from Manchester United is well-timed. Dean West is back on the right after suspension. With Michael Jackson out through injury, Adrian Randall makes his first start against his old club, and up front Ronnie Jepson comes in for the club's top scorer Mark Carter, who's on the bench.
Three in midfield. Matthews, he's the key to this game here with Bury. He's just going to drift off the front two players. I think he'll probably play down the right-hand side a little bit, behind the very robust, hard-working Jepson, and Johnson alongside him. Quite a strange decision, I felt, when you leave out your top scorer, but goodness me, Jepson, I watched him at Huddersfield earlier on, and he is a tough character, and the type of game it is tonight, I think he'll earn his wages tonight, Jepson.
Well, it is a local derby, not a local derby that the supporters have been able to enjoy recently. In fact, the last league meeting of the clubs here was so long ago, it was beyond the lifetime of most of the supporters, and it was, in fact, beyond the lifetime of those great architects of modern football, the floodlights, because the last league match between Burnley and Bury here at Turf Moor was 10 years before the first floodlit game at this ground. And it's a ground that's gradually being restructured. Two stands virtually rebuilt. It's an arena that they're building up in the hope of eventually reclaiming a place in the top echelon of football, and it's coming along very nicely. The Bury fans have been used to living in the shadow of more illustrious neighbours. Bury, of course, look more towards Manchester, while Burnley look more towards the Lancashire lights of Blackpool and Preston. But as Trevor West leads the teams out, and Ronnie Jepson and Nigel Gleghorn, the two club captains, there's no lack of passion in the atmosphere. Only 11 points separate the top 11 teams in the second division. And with both of these clubs in the thick of it, it's a very important game for both tonight in the promotion shake-up. Burnley against Bury coming up.
You can't always give in to cold and flu. So to relieve all your cold and flu symptoms, Nurofen introduced Nurofen Cold and Flu.
Who's the guy like a human mole can shift 10,000 tons of coal?
Can I dig it, mate?
Who digs half a dozen pits after a bowl of Weetabix?
That's our shaft, you know.
He's 5 pits down, 10 along, straight past Bristol, going strong.
Oi. You all right?
Yo. Weetabix. Once we've started you, there's no stopping you.
Going on holiday? You should go to a place that'll give you more holiday for your money. With our fantastic cruises, shouldn't you be going places with going places?
I think I'm about to have one of my funny turns. To find out, how will you eat yours? 1, eat your Cadbury's cream egg with a large spoon. 2, twist your tongue around the inside. 3, eat yours without using your hands. 4, ring this number to play some more.
Hello. 5, teach your grandmother Kentucky.
I've seen the future.
And this egg's safe!
How will you eat yours?
TCP is anesthetic and antiseptic. So if you gargle with it, it can help ease colds, soothe sore throats, and stop you being hoarse.
If you were picking your dream team, you'd certainly want these players. You'd want skill, drive, personality, but also luck. Arsenal were leading the pack, now they're following. Everton was seriously challenging, now they're chasing. Both are hoping their fortunes will turn round again. The Gunners' boss is realistic.
I think you have luck when you deserve it.
Who deserves it the most? Arsenal v Everton in Ford Super Sunday, part of a lively weekend of football on Sky Sports.
Friday night football coming to you live from Turf Moor. It's a local derby in Lancashire, Burnley against Bury, and here's your Sky Sports commentary team to take you through the first half. Alan Brazil and Rob Hawthorne.
Tonight's match referee has come from the northeast of the northwest. It's Hull's Trevor West. And Bury's manager, Stan Turner, coming back to an old stamping ground. He started his playing career here at Burnley and lives about a 2-minute drive away from the ground. And it's Bury to get the game underway in front of supporters who are certainly making themselves heard. Would you say there, Rob? Ronnie Jepson there, number 9 for Bury, who scored the deciding goal between the two clubs when they met at Gig Lane earlier in the season. But this is the first league meeting of these two sides here at Turf Moor since May 1947. And the match that day finished as a 1-1 draw. But Jepson's goal in the meeting at Gig Lane earlier this season came from a clearance from his goalkeeper. And it took 4 touches between Jepson and Johnson before the ball ended up in the back of the net. And Jepson is lining up alongside David Johnson in the Bury forward line tonight. And they've won their first corner after just 30 seconds of the game. And it's played to Dean West, who clips it in usefully. And it's headed behind by Cleghorn, the captain, who had to take responsibility there.
Well, if you watch here, it's a lovely move. And Swan, first of all, the Burnley centre-half gets a head on, and Cleghorn has to deal with it. Good start from the visitors.
Butler joining the attack for Bury. Headed back by Johnson. Grass's clearance, although I have a feeling the ball held up awkwardly for him in the ground. It already looks a little bit rutted in that penalty area that Burnley are defending. And early foul on Matthews.
Yeah, nasty challenge. You know, before the game, people were saying that Bury tend to play direct. I'm very surprised, you know, at the moment, only after a couple of minutes, Bury are playing really nice football, very dangerous.
Jepson takes the free kick. And toss for Wayne Russell, who's taking his place in the goal for Burnley in the absence of Marlon Beresford, who suffered a family bereavement. Burnley on the attack. And the effort from Nogan had the sting taken out of it by the goalkeeper.
Yeah, what a start to the game. We might just get them goals. 4 goals tonight we're looking for.
Both these teams looking on it as the perfect stage on which to demonstrate just how effective they are in this division. Adrian Heath considers his Burnley team already to be the best footballing side in the division in the short time that he's been in charge. And Bury's progress has been there for all to see. They only got promotion last season in Stan Turner's first season in charge. And already they're up there in the promotion pack, starting this game in 5th place. Played in by John Rose, and the header clear by Swan. This is Nogan. Ball kept across field by Parkinson. David Ayres colliding with his own man Nogan. Well won by West, and Ayres made a determined attempt to get there, and the manner in which he jumped in really made the referee's mind up for him.
No, I don't think you can get away with that. When you launch yourself with 2 feet, I think the referee's spot on here.
It's Butler's free kick. Looking for Jepson. And the Headed away by the commanding figure of Peter Swan.
It's going to be a good battle, Rob, between Swan and Jepson. Jepson, very robust, strong character, and he'll relish this local derby. He puts himself about. Scored the only goal in the last meeting. Strong character, but this fella's a strong lad too, Swan.
Just unable to keep it in play. Here's Chris Brass. It's okay. This is David Johnson, who on his day can really be a lively, sparky character. And Harrison having to watch his step here against Matthews and just managing to hold him off. Ayres coming back to help out, but it's with the concession of another corner.
There's no way they're going to come here for a draw. Berry really having a go at Burnley. It's been a great start for the visiting side, but no goals.
Matthews with a corner. Swan reaching out. So Kane was lining it up. It was taken off him, and the shot from Randall
was one that there was a touch of offside there, Rob. You know, we're back to this rule. Was he, you know, impeding the goalkeeper, was in the line of play, but again, a hesitant Burnley defence here. And surely that's got to be offside.
Here's Brass. Burnley, of course, in the Bob Lord days were renowned for producing homegrown talent, and Chris Brass now one of the few players who's developed through the Burnley youth system.
They've always had a great reputation, Burnley, for bringing kids through. In fact, when I was a boy up in Scotland, you know, Burnley were one of the sides that a lot of the promising kids would like to have gone to. Great youth policy.
They didn't come in for you.
Yes, we was invited down. But the more of the football, the gap widens, and the more money's about, you have to rely on your youth policy.
Clipped in by Glenn Little. This is Smith, who they really do have high hopes. And he's pulled that one across awkwardly, and Little was challenging. And we saw there two of the youngsters who are really threatening to make names for themselves in this Burnley team. Smith, who set it up with a cross.
Very elegant, good footwork, selling a few dummies, but look at the final ball, superb. Surely someone should be on the end of that. Glenn Little trying his hardest to get on the end of it, but good defending.
Smith has already demonstrated once the usefulness of his left foot. Here he goes again with a corner. Swan up from the back. It's headed clear. This is Parkinson. And now Smith again. Header away by Butler. Gary Parkinson. David Ayres gets forward regularly and combines well with Nogan. It's Ayres! Thwarted magnificently by Kiley. Ayres isn't giving up though. And this is Gleghorn. And Nogan just couldn't latch onto it, having linked up so beautifully before in the move that almost led to the first goal for David Ayres.
A great play from Ayres, wasn't it? It was a wonderful move. I just thought, you know, the 1-2 was perfect. I thought, go on, hit it first time, but he took the touch, and that just it gave the goalkeeper a chance. Beautiful 1-2, great execution, but just there, well, let's say good goalkeeping.
The left wing back, Ayres does score regularly. He's got 7 already this season, and originally at Burnley he was an attacking left-sided midfielder, and they've metamorphosised him somewhat into this left wing-back role. They've worked on his defensive instincts, but he's still a useful provider of goals and scorer of them.
Yeah, I think he'll feel he perhaps should have scored there, but I'm forever giving goalkeepers, maybe not giving goalkeepers enough credit. I think Dean Kiley there made a very, very good stop with his legs.
An important stop too. Well, it's a very open game, and with 8 minutes gone, it's another free kick. Floated in by West. McKetty was up for it. And This is Glenn Little. Touchback by Nogan to Parkinson. And now Barnes just sensed an opportunity. Butler got back.
Oh, I tell you what, that was tight, you know. Had he gone down there, it was the last defender. It could have been an early shower. It's lovely to see Burnley playing this nice little neat stuff to feet, and obviously Adrian Heath's got a lot to do with that. As a player, he loved to play at the feet, little 1-2s, and he's definitely installed this in this Burnley side.
In for Barnes again. Butler gets across. Everyone in the second division aware of the problems that Paul Barnes can cause. He's in there again looking for Lecchetti, but he had that headline-grabbing display against Stockport earlier in the season, where he turned in a great solo performance and scored 5 goals in the one match.
Yeah, he must have felt very, very proud after that game. We saw the clip there earlier on in the programme where he was 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I've got 5, he said. It's a great feeling, I can promise you, Rob. You done it, Rob?
Not at this level. Well, Adrian Heath has been keen to institute his style of footballing principle since he took over last March, and his reputation has grown to such an extent that he was recently linked with a job back at his old club Espanyol, reportedly on a short list of 3 for that.
I'll tell you what, a little bit warmer over there than it is here. But he seems to settle in well, Adrian Heath. Very level-headed, spoke well before the programme. And I think after the first couple of minutes, Robbie must have been a little bit worried, because Berry had a tremendous start, but Burnley have fought back well.
Between the two managers, Heath a new man and obviously well supported here. They're chanting Adrian Heath's claret and blue army at the moment. Meanwhile, in the opposite dugout, Heath's opposite number, Stan Turnant, is somewhat more experienced. Had his first management job with Blackpool. He's been around the coaching circuit as well with Chelsea and with Crystal Palace. Also had a spell managing Hull City.
Yeah, he was very, very... I thought he was a bit cagey before the game as well. I think Russ mentioned it. But he was having none of it. He said, what do you mean cagey? I've given you my team. I'm quite happy, quite comfortable. He knows the importance of this game. Don't worry about that. I must admit, Rob, I know Berry a little bit high. I do fancy Burnley to win this one tonight. And I think you've got different ideas, haven't you, Mr. Hawthorne? Sitting on the fence again, aren't we?
Berry have never lost 2 league matches in a row since Stan Turnant took over.
Burnley's home record though in the league is tremendous. We shall see.
Great thing about football is that for all the predictions, no one has a script to read. Parkinson. This is O'Kane. Rob Matthews. Good link up again. Randall slipping it through, but offside flag up against Matthews.
Well, I think Matthews, no wonder he's angry, because I thought he made a smashing run there, and that ball should have been delivered. There's a run from Matthews now, and there's no delivery. Too late.
To be fair to the man who played it through to Adrian Randall, he's only recently signed from York City. Matthews himself, ironically, a former York player. But this is Randall's first start. He's had a few appearances coming on from the substitutes bench. It's a big night for Randall too, up against the club that sold him to York last season. Now there's an advantage there to be played, and the referee on reflection, they think he was a little hasty on the whistle.
I think the ref was a little bit unlucky there. He made his mind up. Barnes went down. There was a bit of a challenge. And it's just a shame. There's the pull, and I think that's what made the referee give the free kick. Very unlucky.
Yeah, it's winning the throw, but Trevor West, who blew the whistle just when it seemed that Glenn Little might get through.
Very difficult, Rob. You know, I think the pull was blatant, and I think that's why the whistle was sounded.
It's Chris Brass.
He's certainly in for a few goals, Rob. It's end to end, and at the moment both defences are holding up well, but I just got a feeling we could be in for 3 or 4 goals.
So John O'Kane taking the throw-in. He's played 4 games before this season in his first loan spell from Manchester United before he was recalled to Old Trafford to cover for 1 or 2 injuries. Leghorn. And West has won the throw-in off David Ayres. Three points separating the two teams going into the 3 places separating the two teams going into the game, but just 2 points. It shows just how tight it is for both these two clubs, and both managers want to be involved at the very least in the playoffs at the end of the season. Talking about Stan Turner being a little cagey, he's actually still a little bit under the weather. Because he had a dose of flu, which has actually deprived Adrian Heath of his assistant tonight. John Ward absent from the game because of a touch of that same virus.
Sure, he's tucked up or hot toddy watching on the telly, Rob, because it's a big game for Burnley. You don't have to look round at the stadium. They've got high hopes of progressing. Beautiful stadium now, Turf Moor.
Swan. This is Parkinson. Taking it inside Johnson. Hoping that it would break for Nogan. Gary Parkinson, a player who's been well used to winning promotions in his time, had a few at Middlesbrough, was at Bolton and at Burnley as well. In fact, Gary Parkinson scored one of the goals that won them their playoff final against Stockport at Wembley, and the only other survivor in the Burnley team from that Wembley date was the other scorer on that day, and that was David Ayres on the opposite side to Parkinson. Ayres, who's had the clearest opportunity of this game so far. Good header from Smith that almost gave Butler an opportunity. There's a bit of a wind about.
Getting settled down a little bit now, the game. Quite early on it was end to end, but now players having a little think about it now. And the pitch just slightly beginning to cut up a wee bit there. But a good crowd here.
Well done, Wayne!
Matthews. West is supporting, but just behind him. Here he is, Dean West with a cross. Too high for Johnson.
It's a shame really, because that was a great run from Matthews. Intelligent back heel, but the final ball, not good enough.
Here's Nogan. Little has made a good break into the box. Brass lets it go. Parkinson redeems it. This is David Ayres. Great hunger to get forward. He was able to combine with Barnes that time.
Lucky to Jepson because he spotted his teammate out on the wing, tried the first time, but he just couldn't dig it out.
Nogan. Through to Barnes. Long back pass from Harrison.
I think the wind's actually dying down a little bit, Rob. I was a bit worried earlier on. Perched high up here. But considering the time of the year, it's a lovely night here in Burnley. Different to Stoke.
Yes, just going to end into a snow flurry. Just a flurry of goals, perhaps. Little with a cross. Smith, player coming in. Headed away by Nicky Dawes. Ayres with the foot. Got the deflection, and he gets the corner.
try to whip it in there, but he'll be delighted. Gained his side a corner kick. And I think down at this level, Rob, they really do work hard at set pieces.
Swan may play a part. So might Nogan. Swan! Off the line and it's gone in! Swan with a powerful header. And the last man on the line couldn't keep it out. Burnley take the lead.
Well, I mentioned, Rob, about set pieces, they work hard, but surely Berry were half asleep here. Not a bad ball, but look, Swan just loses marker, and into the net it goes. I think it's Luchetti who was marking Swan, and on the line, well, Dean West could have maybe have done a little bit better. But delight for Burnley. Free header, and West can't keep it out.
Well, Peter Swan scored in his last home appearance against Brentford. And he's only managed to find a slot in the Burnley first team since Vince Overson has been injured. And he really has set this game alight now, lifted the crowd and put himself on the brink of a personal achievement, because that's his 49th league goal. So he could rattle up the half-century tonight. Burnley, in the meantime, more concerned about increasing their lead.
Oh, he's a big lad, isn't he? The powerful enough header, Rob, but I just felt Luchetti just lost him. But Swan's doing his job well, you know, he reacted quicker, got half a yard on Luchetti. Just sneaking into the net. Dean West on the line, well, can't really blame him.
Flicked onto Barnes, and in comes Nogan again. This time, Luchetti very positive in his challenge. Parkinson. Foul by Butler.
Butler was claiming he got the ball here, Rob. And to be fair to him, I think he did.
Swan is in the thick of it again, having already scored from the corner. Played in by Smith, off the post. And Leghorn hit the post with a header.
What a let-off there for Dean Kiley. Goodness me.
Well, the goalkeeper came and never made contact with it. The Smith free kick, and Leghorn stole in and almost had in a second.
I think Dean Kiley, goodness me, Gleghorn's header. Must be thanking his lucky stars. His right hand upright was right in the way. And that'd have been 2-0. Committed himself, Robbie, come for it like Superman, but got absolutely nowhere near it. So Burnley, obviously, set pieces. They've been working very hard and almost paying off again.
Bury made such a good start to the game, but they've been caught out really by the sucker punch, and Burnley are flowing now, and Nogan is through, and he's onside, and it could be number 2, and this time Kiley thwarts it.
Well, that'll please the young keeper, because I thought Nogan had made it 2-0. Lovely run by Nogan, look, peeling away, and now he takes a touch, takes his time, tries to slot it low. Good stop. And there's no doubt Kiley would have been delighted, because here he's nowhere near the set piece. Oh, so unlucky for Burnley, but well played. Good save there from Kiley.
Leghorn so close to making it 2-0. Kiley preventing Nogan from adding the second goal.
I know Nigel Gleghorn from his Ipswich days, and I swear he never got too many headers, and that was a close, very close one.
Butler. That's Peter Swan, the goal scorer. Smith feeding Ayres, and Smith going into the hole to pick up the return. by Paul Butler. Berry trying to bring some measure of calm. They really have been unsettled.
It's good stuff from Burnley now. You know, the tails are up, they've got the goal, and now it's first time stuff. Getting it wide, trying to whip it in as early as possible.
Ayres with the throw. No question who's the dominant side now. No good. Ayres.
I think Nogan's causing all sorts of problems now, Robbie's movement. Dragging the centre-halves all over the place. Nogan delighted to be back in the side.
For Nogan again, Laketti beats him to it this time. But Nogan has been left out of the side after a much publicised contract dispute, but manager Adrian Heath knows that to leave him out of the team for too long would be cutting off his nose to spite his face, so it's no real surprise that Nogan has been restored to the lineup. The manager made his point by leaving him out for a short time.
Well, on his performance so far, you know, it's wow. I've never been a manager, but Adrian Heath certainly knows what he's doing. But he looks a good player to me.
Here's Parkinson. And he's looking for Nogan with a cross, and the goalkeeper's lost it, and Smith points it in. Kylie lost out with the cross ball, and Paul Smith, with his 4th goal of the season, takes full advantage.
Well, I just wonder if Kylie's a bit unlucky here, because it's a teasing cross. He makes his mind up, doesn't get enough on it, and Smith blasts it in the top corner. Perhaps maybe Kylie could have got his fist to the ball, but he seems to palm it down. But Smith wastes no time smashing it in the net. Smith's touch was good, right foot, get in there.
Took a deflection en route, but it was actually the weaker right foot of Paul Smith that finished it with such devastating effect. Kylie flapping at the cross.
Once again, he made his mind up, he came for the ball, but if you're not going to catch it, you've got to get your fists on it and try and get a good solid punch. Instead, it was flapped down to Smith, and there's a very disappointed young man.
Well, Stan Ternant has only seen his Bury team lose 4 times in the league before this season. His opposite number must be delighted, though. Adrian Heath is talking to George Gavin.
Adrian, you couldn't ask for a better start, could you?
No, the game should be over. The game should be over. We've had 3 or 4 great chances. And we're 2-0 up, but the game's not over at 2-0. We should be sitting here to be 4-0 up now. But we've started quite bright. Forward movement's good, and the lads are getting beyond the ball. Midfield men are. We're switching the play good. And I'm quite pleased at the minute.
Is the only worry that you can't keep this up maybe for the whole match?
No, we can. We've proved we can on loads of occasions. We've got some good players here.
Over an hour left, it is the game over.
Johnson, we've got some good players here. We're getting better, and I said to you before the game, if we play like we can, we're all right. But we're doing all right.
Thanks very much, Adrian.
Game's not over.
Well, I'm delighted for Adrian, Rob, but did he miss the first 3 or 4 minutes? Because I thought Berry started ever so well. There's no doubt about it, he's delighted. 2-0 up, superb.
The last couple of minutes, they've just shown that maybe the game isn't over. Peter Swan, though, who gave Burnley such a magnificent start with his header from the corner, and Paul Smith, who's made it a bit more comfortable, but as we've seen many times before in the Nationwide League, a 2-0 lead definitely isn't going over.
The referee spotted something off the ball there, and there's no doubt there was a little bit of a bump. There's nothing. Barnes was the man who ended up on the ground. Referee West has spotted it, but I don't think there was any intention. No intent. It was just a simple collision. But another set piece, Rob, which Burnley are so dangerous at.
Bury won't fancy this. Shown on a few occasions before this season what a free-scoring team they can be, and they really seem to be in the mood for it tonight. The Wall has every right to be anxious. Could be a favourite to sweep in here. It is number 3, David Ayres. It's number 3. What a magnificent finish.
Well, I'm sure Adrian Heath must be saying it's all over now, because it's a lovely strike from Ayres. And poor old Dean Kiley, well, it's not his night. It's a beautiful sweeping left foot shot, just inside the post. Kiley gets a good sight of it, flies across the goal, but perfectly placed.
Well, David Ayres was always going to be the threat there with his sweet left foot. It's his first league goal, Ayres, since the 26th of October when he scored a penalty against Plymouth. But what a fine finish that was.
Not bad for a left-sided wing-back. That could have been his second goal, because that beautiful 1-2 almost opened the scoring, but he's got to be delighted. That was a lovely left foot strike. And there's no doubt about it, it was perfectly placed. Because poor Dean Kiley, well, let's hope, let's hope he can make a save or two, try and cheer himself up.
David Ayres on his 150th league appearance for Burnley, scoring a fine goal, and Burnley certainly haven't given up the ghost. It's a wholly attacking performance from them tonight, and Bury at the moment just cannot cope with it. It's pulled back, the foul by Matthews. Referee had blown a while before.
Well, it's rather noisy around here, but I'm sure referee West blew his whistle ages ago there. No doubt about it, it was a tug, wasn't it? Ayres, the man fell. And I think referee Trevor West had certainly blown straight away. It's obviously very noisy here. What a start for Burnley. I'm sure you still fancy Bury, Rob.
It's going to be some comeback now. Trying to find a way through. Sent away by Peter Swan, who started tonight's goal scoring. But that last goal from David Ayres actually brings up 99 goals in our live nationwide league fixtures on Sky Sports this season.
Oh, would have settled that for the start of the season, maybe, Rob?
Well, it looks like we could be up for number 100 tonight, the way this game's going. And there it is! It's turned in by Matthews. Bury, at last, come back after all the pressure and give themselves at least a fraction of hope.
Well, you have to say Burnley go to sleep a little bit here. Long throw. There's 2 Burnley players, but they lose out, and this is a good finish from Matthews. There's no doubt about it. Russell had no chance. This is perfectly placed again. But surely they should have dealt with that. But look at Matthews, flying strike, and his side are back in it. No doubt about it, good throw, flicked on, and what a finish that is.
Well, Matthews can afford to be pleased with that. Bury still not too pleased about the look of the scoreline. But a little bit of hope for them.
What a noisy crowd out here. That was just a little handball there, they've gone berserk. Can't keep my voice down, Rob, you're right next to them.
Well, Burnley may be leading 3-1, having had a 3-0 lead at one stage, but they should know that they cannot afford to write off a Bury team that time and again has proved resilient this year. In fact, they breaking again here at pace with Matthews, going right into the area and running straight into Jerry Harrison. But it's whipped back in. Harrison pulled that wide.
That was a smashing tackle by Harrison, you know. I think both players get caught up. But look at this. Harrison, he dives in and he has to get it, and smashing tackle. I think both players went over on their ankles there. And we're going to need a little bit of treatment, I think. good challenge. Again, it's Johnston. He's been all over the place, he has, Johnston. Very lively indeed. And I don't think Bury are out of this just yet, Rob.
Indeed, I was about to say their only defeat in their last 9 league matches was against Bristol Rovers. They lost it by 4 goals to 3, and they were 3-0 down in that game at one stage, and effected a sort of comeback that at least got them back to 3-2 at one stage of the game.
The problem, looking back through a few of Bury's results, it's been a fantastic run they've had, Rob, but they've always leaked goals. If you look at the draws, there's not been too many 0-0s. They've always had a habit of leaking goals. You stand telling me, well, I'd be delighted with his side getting back in it. But you don't expect to lose 3 goals in the first half. And poor old Dean Kiley, he made 1 good save and then 3 have flashed past him.
By Randall, who's apparently had an opportunity really to get into the game. Really had been one-way traffic after Bury's good start to the game up until the goal that they pulled back through Matthews. Great excitement so far here tonight, which hopefully we'll be able to repeat for you over the weekend on Sky Sports 1, where we have more live action this Super Sunday from Highbury. Arsenal against Everton. That match in the Carling Premiership kicks off at 3 o'clock. 4 goals in the opening 35 minutes here at Turf Moor. Here's Gary Parkinson. Beautiful ball to Ayres. You have to move to collect it. Running into West.
Tries to get forward so many times. That was a good challenge. And Ayres has definitely caused problems down that left-hand side.
Here's Smith. Oh, he's weaved his way through magnificently. Well, that was an awkward header right across the face. Parkinson. What a magnificent piece of skill that was from Smith, that really had the Bury defenders on the back foot and almost led to an own goal.
Well, not only has he smashed a cracking right foot in, but every time Paul Smith gets it, he moves the ball so quickly. He's got 1 or 2 little tricks, and he really is causing Bury some problems.
Little. Barnes trying to bring it under control. And Leketti, whose back header gave cause for so much concern a moment ago, in the way there. Given away by John Rose to Little. And he's made room for the shot. Straight down the goalkeeper's throat.
Yeah, a little half chance there, but no real power on the shot. Thank delighted Dean Kiley for once getting his hands on it.
Matthews. Running Harrison. And getting the cross in towards Jepson.
The type of balls that you think Jepson would thrive on. And Matthews on the right-hand side for Bury's causing Burnley a lot of problems.
Randall. Here's O'Kane. Good work from him, he's past Leghorn. Parkinson proving an altogether trickier customer. Only John Rose. He's done well to get the cross in. Clearance by Ayres. Nogan up front on his own, and it needed a comfortable header there from Leketti. This is Butler.
I just feel Rob Burnley, if Bury can sneak another one, get back. What a game they're in for. And it's certainly possible, because when they go forward, especially this guy Matthews down the right, there's every chance.
Well, what an open contest this really has been. Burnley, though, have been dominant. They did take their foot off the pedal just after scoring that 3rd goal, which led to Bury pulling one back through Matthews. But they've since re-established their dominance. Adrian Heath must be particularly delighted with the form of Paul Smith. Smith, a really highly rated prospect here at Turf Moor. He'll be 21 next Wednesday. He had a little spell out of the game with glandular fever, and only recently has recovered full fitness, and isn't he making it show?
It's a case of getting kids like that in a long-term contract, isn't it? But they are good down this left-hand side, Wales and Smith. Parkinson. Leghorn. Little.
And Little, another prospect of great promise, recently bought from Glentoran, and he's done well there, showing a clean pair of heels to John Rose. Cross headed away by Butler though. Here's Matthews.
He's a big favourite over there, and he's doing the business here at Tottenham too.
Matthews is really playing his part in this attempted Bury revival. It's Jepson's cross, which went across the face, and it's Westall keeping in play. Matthews is still down injured. Players are in the box though. Jepson was arriving. And Dawes not getting the cleanest of contacts, but it's Jepson.
Yeah, a bit speculative there from Jepson. I just felt a few moments earlier there was a beautiful ball from Matthews on the right, and I would imagine someone like him getting stuck on, you know, getting on the end of it. But Bury, when they go forward, they do get numbers forward, Rob. You know, and you just feel if they can get the next goal, Burnley get it, it's all over. But if Bury can get one back, well, we're in for a cracker of a second half.
Ketty. Back to Leghorn by Little, and this is Nogan. Sold Little a bit short. John Rose nipped in well. This is Randall. Swan, commanding figure at the back. Nogan picking out Barnes. Little has made a good break in the box if Parkinson can find him. Parkinson goes alone, and it came back to Barnes.
Well, what a smashing strike this was. Oh. Dean Kyler didn't know too much about it. Thank goodness it was right at him, but this is a super strike. Really letting fly there, Parkinson. And maybe Barnes, well, it could have been on the end of it a little bit better, but this is a great strike and a good stop. Barnes just not on target.
Here's Jepson. Randall. Challenge by Swan. Jepson collecting again and finding Matthews. West behind him in a supporting role. Matthews seemed determined to go through. He's shown great character, Matthews.
What I like about him, Rob, is when he gets it, he goes at defenders with pace. He doesn't mess about. He'll run at them, he'll use his pace, he moves the ball quickly. Perhaps he took the wrong option there because he had support there from Dean West, but he obviously feels he's got the beating of this Burnley defence down the right. When you summon him form like that, you just keep giving him the ball. Build off him.
Looking to build down the left this time, though, with O'Kane. This is West. Matthews is ahead of him down that right-hand side. Wide of him now, but West wants to get the cross in instantly towards Jepson, and Parkinson concedes the corner.
Bury didn't really have too many, you know, there wasn't too many options in the box there. When the cross came over, it was just really Jepson, and Jepson couldn't have done much with it. But in the end, well, they've got a corner, and it gives them a chance just before the stroke of half-time.
Matthews has caused enough problems in wide areas already, and he's the taker of this corner. Back to him by Johnson. Matthews weaving his way in. Oh, and Matthews looking for it with the jump in the box as Harrison's legs were outstretched.
I don't want to have a laugh there. That was 10 out of 10 here. Don't worry about that. Here he goes. Oh, a little dive.
There he goes again with the corner, Matthews.
There he wants to stay in that right wing, Rob. Every time he comes over here.
Well, Harrison, after that collision with Matthews, is hobbling. cross by Butler. This is Jepson making room for Johnson. And he was trying to line it up for Randall. Great ball from Little to Nogan. Good defending by Leketti.
Good defending, but I tell you what, Rob, Nogan's definitely got the legs on Piketty, there's no doubt about it. And the big centre-half done his job well there, but Nogan looks so menacing when he gets in his stride. Piketty, I should say, not Piketty. I think I've gone back to Inter Milan in 1970. Tell you what, I'd like to play like Piketty, without being unfair. They've just got to be a little bit careful here, Rob, because you know they've taken the foot off the pedal a little bit. The big fella again, Swan coming to the rescue, but they keep giving Berry a little squeak, a little chance, especially down Berry's right-hand side.
Knowles, the long throw specialist, headed away by Gleghorn. Johnson into Jepson, blocked by Swan. Leketti was just trying to time his move for it. Next Dawes with a cross. He got underneath it.
I was just about to say a good cross, but it was obviously overhit.
Well, half-time and Burnley firmly in the driving seat. Peter Swan set them on their way with a header from the corner. Paul Smith, who's had a spectacular first-half performance, added the second. And David Ayres seemed to have made it comfortable at 3-0 until Berry struck back with a goal, an opportunist goal from Rob Matthews. Not much has gone wrong, really, for Burnley in this first half. Swan's header, West couldn't keep it out on the line. Great start for Swan. And then Paul Smith, who's shown some great trickery, showed a great finish there after Kiley had failed to deal with a free kick. And then this free kick manoeuvre, well, what a finish that was from David Ayres. But just when things seemed to be motoring, Burnley went to sleep from the long throw-in. Matthews got the goal, so it could still be very interesting in the second half. Burnley 3, Bury 1.
Saturday on Arresting Television, A Dog's Life in the Police Force. Coppers at 8.
Back over there now. Hey, back off, back off, back off.
Stay right there. Stay. Move back to the car.
At 8:30 in Cops, more real-life police action.
The only thing you can do is react.
Cop Files at 9:30, edge-of-the-seat drama.
Now you listen to me.
Then a child custody case.
They stole him away from me.
Law and Order at 10. Arresting Television, Saturday from 8 till 11, Sky 1.
As the UK's #1, Lund Poly give more discounts on more holidays than any other travel agent. Lund Poly, a better way to get away.
You're late, you're late, you're late, you're late.
American Express, how may I help you?
Let's see. Business class, aisle seat as usual.
Travel insurance?
Yes, I'm sure we can find a plan to suit you.
Our credit card would let you spread payments over time.
Right now, you have enough points for a flight to Paris.
I have enough points for a dinner for two.
We made an arrangement just for our customers. I was just calling to check everything turned out all right.
Glad we could help.
Maybe it's time you let American Express help you do more.
Over the last 100 years, man has been obsessed with one thing: making things go fast. Today, we don't even want the flu to slow us down. Lemsip Power Plus gets to work fast because it's absorbed fast. No stronger remedy for cold and flu symptoms has ever been available without prescription.
I suppose I just got used to the noise at work. Didn't really bother me. Now it's all I ever hear. I feel like I'm in a world of my own. We're going for a pint. Come on, get your stuff together.
Millions of people could have their health and their lives ruined by work. Employers could ease this unnecessary suffering by calling for a free HSE Good Health is Good Business Employer's Guide on 0345 181819.
The new Clio Versailles is a palace on wheels. From just $7,895 on the road, it has a tilt and slide sunroof, stereo radio cassette, and 1 year's free insurance. All the standard, and for just £50 extra, I bought this. Not bad, eh? Look at that. The new Clio Versailles. Good thinking, Renault.
Coming up on Sky Sports 2 on Sunday night, we have the Bob Hope Classic from California, the 38th one. That's Sky Sports 3. It's live football this evening. Burnley against Bury from Nationwide League Division 2. And what terrific fare both of these teams have served up for us in the first half. We've had 4 goals. 3-1 to Burnley at half-time. Peter Swan, Paul Smith and David Ayres putting Burnley 3-0 up pretty quickly. Rob Matthews pulling a goal back for Bury, which in fact was our 100th live goal on our Nationwide live games. Not many fouls at all. No bookings and no sendings off. And the action areas for you from the first half. Burnley having the better of it. 3-1, only just though, but the goals are what count, of course, Dave Bassett, aren't they? 3-1 it is to Burnley at half-time, and they got the first goal from a set piece.
That's right, they were sort of under pressure early on, but we see the good delivery in here by the boy Smith. It swung, and Swan's lost his marker, Luchetti, and it comes off the defender on the goal line. Again, you see that Swan's got in front, the ball's in there. In actual fact, I think the goalkeeper in the next incident might show that he's put the full back off a little bit here. He's knocked down, as you can see. I think possibly, had the keeper not dived, he might have actually got that away, the full-back. But it was a good header and poor marking by Luchetti.
Well, that put the home side 1-0 up, and Sam, when they were 2-0 up, George Gavin had a word with Adrian Heath while he was on the bench, and he was ruining a couple of missed opportunities that he said could have completely finished off the game, and this was one of them.
Yes, it's a super ball in from young Smith again, and the keeper's caught way out of position there, and really Cleghorn should have probably scored that one.
And Kurt Nogan, lovely run.
Yeah, it's a great run, and it's just a little bit pity it's not on his strong foot. I mean, he's had to take it back on his right foot, which is his strong one, and that probably lost the opportunity to score a goal there.
He's back in the team, Nogan, tonight, obviously. Have you been impressed with what you've seen?
Yes, I've always been impressed with him at this level particularly, and like I said before, with the struggling club they were last year, he was the leading goal scorer with 24, 25, 26, and this year he's done the same again. I think he's had a little bit of contract problems with Inchy, but they seem to be all by the wayside now, and him and Barnsley, right force up front.
Burnley did get another goal after those 2 missed opportunities, Dave, and it was quickly 2-0.
That's right, well, the keeper comes out here, Kylie, and he gets in the way, and it's a great first touch by Smith, who controls it and then puts it away. But I'm sure Stan will be disappointed with his keeper because he should have really smashed this away and punched it away. And, it's a present for Burnley. But in fairness, as I say, the boy Smith's first touch is very good. You see he takes the control there and he smashes it, and the defender's got no chance, even though he tries to block it.
Alan Brazil was saying in the commentary that for the first 2 or 3 minutes, Bury looked quite good, but they were really all over the place when they were 2-0 down, and they were quickly, excuse me, to be 3-0 down. But, they were just literally not in the game, really.
That's right, at this stage, they're not in it. And this is a fine free kick, it really is. It's well struck. And, I mean, you think of goal routes and see it. You see the touch, it's out, he's got lovely bend on it. The keeper doesn't have a chance with that. And, I mean, at this stage, Burnley are in complete control of the game.
David Ayres has had a good first half, apart from that goal, Sam, hasn't he?
Yes, very excited in that left wing-back position. He's been moved, actually, from an out-and-out left winger to that wing-back position, and it's really seemed to have suited him. And he got through on a 1-2. Early on, and maybe should have scored himself in the first half. But
really unusual to see Bury sort of playing in the way that they did play for most of that first half. Very, very unusual for them.
It is. I'd say Stan's taken a bit of a chance tonight and just changed his system a little bit with a flat back 4, and he's usually normally stuck with his 3 centre halves, and that's what's brought him the success they've had this season. And that's a manager's job, isn't it? You know, you think that's going to be the best way for that game, and it hasn't quite worked tonight. I'm sure he's going to change it at half-time. But one thing about, you know, Berry's goal, it's got him back in the game.
Yes, it did. It's given him a little glint of hope for the second half. And what a great goal for our 100th live goal on our nationwide live games. Beautiful goal, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's the long throw again, the third set play. I think it comes off a Burnley player's head. It does. It drops to Matthew, and that's an excellent goal. That's a good control and an excellent finish.
As Alan said, a touch of the old Mark Hughes about that finish.
That's right. You can see here he leans back. It's good technique. He puts it away, and the keeper's got no chance. And as Sam said, that could be a vital goal for Bury to give them the opportunity to get back in the game.
Well, as Dave says, they're still in it. Should be a really exciting second half. It's 3-1 to Burnley at the moment, and the whole of the second half is coming up live from Turf Moor. It's the big Lancashire derby tonight. We promised you a hot pot of football, and that's what you've had so far. More goals on the way, we hope. See you in a couple of minutes.
England may have reached a low in international cricket.
And I'm disappointed and upset, and so are the players.
But they refuse to get the blues.
You've got to have confidence in yourselves.
Now they move on to face the spirited New Zealanders.
It's a Herculean job that Atherton's got to lift this side now.
Work hard to put things right.
We go to New Zealand, we will regroup, we'll replan and come again with confidence.
Ford Explorer International Cricket starts next Thursday night at 9:30 live on Sky Sports 1.
Every day, over 5 million people do exactly the same thing. Save for the future with Nationwide.
You can get it if you really want. You can get it if you really want. You can get it if you really want. But you must try. Try and try. Try and try. You'll succeed at last.
In tune with people. Nationwide.
Starting in the Sunday Times this Sunday. Get away from it all. With up to 50% off a huge range of holidays and flights to almost any destination in the world. See the free 20-page holiday guide, only in the Sunday Times.
Sensitive skin? Big Twin Select. The razor for sensitive men.
Escalate to dizzy heights with a new album from the Lightning Seeds, out now.
The one to watch, out now to rent. Tom Cruise. Mission Impossible. Rent the video now.
Now there are twice as many reasons to keep in touch with BT's friends and family.
Hello? Hi, it's me. Look, I'm trying to organise a get-together.
Great. That sounds great. Yeah, what time should we make it?
So if you're not doing anything, come along.
Good idea, but I can't stay late. I like to be in bed by 9.
BT's friends and family has now doubled in size. You now get 10% off not just 5, but 10 numbers, and it's free to join. So make your list and ring 0800 05 55 55 right now. One of them can be an international number.
I'd love to. You would? Oh, that'd be brilliant.
And one can be a mobile.
I tell you, this digging lark's gonna do me in.
BT's friends and family. It's doubled in size so you can make twice as many savings.
Look at this man and remember him well.
I'm going to be big. Real big.
His lightning speed can give a man hell.
This is my time.
An awesome young puncher at the sound of the bell.
1997, the year for Joe Calzaghe.
Calzaghe versus Vargas, Tuesday at 8 on Sky Sports 1.
Coming up on Sky Sports 2 tomorrow evening at 7, Spanish football features the champions Atletico Madrid against the current leaders Real Madrid. A tremendous match in store there. That'd be well worth watching. But tonight, Friday Night Football hosts a derby match a little nearer to home this evening. It's Burnley against Bury from Turf Moor, big Lancashire derby. Burnley leading by 3 goals to 1. at half-time, and inside Turf Moor, all the Burnley fans should be extremely happy, and George Gavin has caught up with some of them.
Well, if the Clarets aren't happy now, they never will be. 3-1 up at half-time. That's not a bad scoreline, is it?
It's a superb scoreline. It's just a shame that they've scored and we've got to keep going again. But yeah, we've got to keep going again.
You're too big a club to be in Division 2, though, aren't you?
We're definitely going for a Premiership. There's no problems there. We'll do it. We're just having a bit of a lay-back now at the time, but we'll get there, definitely.
Have Bury had a lifeline there, though, with that goal? You make it 3-1?
I think it's a dangerous thing to let them in and have a goal like that, but we'll come back. Second half, another 3, 6-1.
Oh, 6-1. Ooh. Let's talk down here. Kurt Nogan wants to get away, doesn't he? That will be a big blow to Burnley.
Well, it will be, yes, but I don't think he will go, really. He likes it here. He's a good player. Burnley love him, and he loves Burnley.
I know you're happy to see us here, aren't you?
Tell us about it, yeah. Kurt Nogan's not going nowhere. He loves Barnholdswit and he's stopping. And up the Clarets forever.
Okay, thanks very much. Back to you, Russ.
Thank you, George. 3-1 to Burnley. It is at half-time for the whole of the second half. Now let's rejoin our Sky Sports commentary team, Alan Brazil and Rob Hawthorne.
And changes to both teams. Bury looking to change their fortunes by bringing on Andrew Woodward for David Johnson. And Burnley are bringing on Jamie Hoyland to replace the injured Lee Harrison. Hoyland, a former Bury player who was then signed by Dave Bassett for Sheffield United. Let's hear from the Bury manager, Stan Turnant. He's talking to George Gavin.
Stan, 3 heavy blows to recover from.
Yes, we'll have a go. 3 set plays. Great goal, the third one by any standards. Chris Lacetti lost Swanee on the first one and Paul Butler lost the lad on the second one. But never mind, we'll have another go. I'm just going to change it around a little bit this off and see what happens.
Thanks very much, Stan.
Thank you.
So after those changes, are Bury's fortunes about to be revived? Burnley took a real grip on the game with those 3 goals in the first half hour. That last one from David Ayres, a real spectacular effort. The changes in personnel now on both teams, and Little looks to add to an already well-established lead. Here's Hoyland. This is Little taking on Butler and getting it across. Riley's handling had to be assured then and was.
Smashing cross, wasn't it? There's no doubt about it. Little and Smith, they're both getting wide and getting excellent crosses in.
And Matthews looking to get a decent cross in or to get into the box. And he was checked, was he, by Hoyland. The referee said no, and his assistant was right on the spot to see it.
I'll tell you what, I thought Trevor West was going to give that there. And that was a close decision, there's no doubt about it. Matthews was absolutely furious. He felt that was a certain penalty.
Here's Randall. Matthews calling for it. Given to Waste. This is Nicky Dawes.
Yeah, I wonder, Rob. I tell you what, I'd like to see that again because I was sure Trevor West was the whistle was going to his mouth. He's having a word with Matthews now. And what do you reckon, Rob? 10 out of 10 for a dive. He's lucky not to get booked, you know, when you see it again. I know we've got the benefit of this, but he's nowhere near him, is he? And that's shocking.
10 out of 10 for the referee as well, then.
Too good a player to be doing that. What do you have to do that for?
It's confirmation that Hoyland, who was involved in that incident, is the half-time substitute for the injured Harrison. Hoyland slotting into Harrison's role as the left of the 3 central defenders. David Ayres retains this role as left wing-back, a role in which he's been particularly effective. And the most glorious contribution of all, the 3rd goal for Burnley from the free kick.
Very important. Burnley start this second half well. If they let Bury back in it, they got a bit of momentum. Who knows how this could go? Not with passes like that, Rob.
Yes, John Rose clearly hadn't heard you too clearly.
Yeah, I'm sure Stan Turner, you know, at half-time be saying, hey guys, come on, let's get them under pressure right away. And if we can sneak a second goal, they might just crack under pressure. But as Adrian, he's saying, hey guys, come on, let's get on top of them. Let's keep it going. If we get a 4th, it's good night. It's all over.
Bury were in free scoring form on Monday in a different competition in the Auto Windscreen Shield. They rattled in 6 without reply against Mansfield, but this is actually their first league match of the new year because of the disruption to their programme through the weather. Made it an uncomfortable night for them. As having completed the scoring, Paul Barnes and Kurt Nogan, an effective front line for Burnley. Skipping away from the challenges. It's not been the happiest of nights for him so far, back at the ground where he was actually a player at the start of last season before being sold to York.
Yeah, he's not seen too much of the ball tonight. Oh, you're saying that, I think Jepson gave him a lot to do there.
Burnley were out of position, but Jepson couldn't capitalise.
There's a little bit off the ball there from Jepson as well, Rob, on Parkinson. I think the ref spotted it.
Parkinson is still down, and now, after a little hold-up, treatment will be called for Gary Parkinson after that challenge with Ronnie Jepson.
Well, it was definitely contact, Rob, and Jepson sort of, well, it wasn't an elbow or a punch, I don't think. I thought he just sort of threw him to the ground. He's a big lad, Jepson, but he certainly manhandled him. There's a tussle for the ball. There was a contact, and Jepson got his arm round him. I think he's sort of given him a bit of a knock in the air, but nothing really bad. I think Parkinson was leaning into Jepson, and Jepson reacted like that, but the referee spotted it.
I think you described Jepson as robust in the first half, and Parkinson only too aware now of just how adequate that adjective is.
And yeah, I think Parkinson felt he took a right-hander from Tyson the way he went down there. You know, there wasn't too much in that, was there?
No bruises anyway. Parkinson. This is Barnes. It's out of play by Chris Brass, who, along with Paul Smith, is a product of the youth scheme at Burnley that they're keen on fostering here. We saw at half-time a demonstration of the ball skills of one or two youngsters who may figure in Burnley strips in future, perhaps.
It's great to see that as well, the little kids, because it gives them a little taste, a little chance to savour the atmosphere at Tuffmill. There's no doubt clubs, well, Burnley, I was going to say smaller clubs like Burnley, they're obviously not a small club, but they do thrive on bringing kids through. There's no doubt about it, and the gap just seems to be getting wider with money, and if you're not a club with money, then there's only one way through it. You bring your kids through, and unfortunately sometimes you have to sell the best ones.
Manchester United have been well aware of Smith's progress from when they played Burnley in an FA Youth Cup tie, and apparently every time Manchester United officials are here at Turf Moor, they inquire about his progress.
There was a little late challenge there and leg on. Ex-fireman Nigel, I used to watch him at Ipswich. That was just a little bit late there. Whoops. Maybe a yellow card might have been popping out of referee West's pocket, but Nigel's a lucky man.
Header away by Swan, not the most convincing. Randall was lining one up. Matthews has won the possession back well. Luchetti, plenty of players available for him in the area. Cleared for Randall. This is West. Parkinson kicking out as accurately. It's Hoyland. Grass. David Ayres. Barnes. Good move this from Burnley. He's picked out Nogan, and a great run by Barnes! Magnificent save! What a tremendous move from Burnley, though. And Dean Kiley standing his ground. That would have been a real eye-catching goal.
Well, we've seen two great moves, haven't we, Rob? And Dean Kiley has stopped them both. It's the set pieces he can't handle. But that was a smashing save.
Now Randall. And he's got the opening. Well, Russell equal to that one, but what a fine save by Russell, by Kiley rather, a moment ago.
Great save, but what a move. This was from Burnley's own box. Sweeping passing movement. Lovely ball in the box. And this is quality here from Nogan. The little layoff, surely the fourth goal. Great stop.
Well, he'll emerge from this night with a few mixed memories, Dean Kiley.
And I'll give him a lot of confidence for this second half.
The night didn't get off to the best of starts for him when Swan beat him with the header.
I tell you what, I keep saying though, if Derry can get a second, Robin, back into the game, I reckon Dean Kiley will think back to that save, because that could be very, very important.
It's not the only save he's made on the night. He made a crucial one for the man taking the throw in Ayres earlier in the game. Dawes back with Ayres and...
oh dear. Well, it's not that bad. Ayres had every right to go for the ball, and how many times you see defenders trying to shield the ball as Nick Davis is doing here. This is good endeavour from Ayres, but how's your left ankle? I bet this was a sore one. Whack! It's a difficult one, Rob, you know, because week in and week out I see defenders sort of just allowing the ball to go out. It's definitely obstruction, but I think Ayres, well, the referee's let him get away with it.
Dawes is back on the field and Ayres escapes unpunished. Russell making his fourth league appearance of this season. He's won only one of the previous three. Chris Brass. Dawes. Trouble for Matthews.
I think he's got to do his talking with his feet and his skill, but look, he certainly, well, there was two of them at it, and Matthews, well, his left foot came over there. I just wonder, Burnley sometimes, Rob, I know I love to see teams play football, but sometimes back in defence, especially when you've got a two-goal cushion, get out of the danger area. Sometimes they overplay, they try to play their way out of defence, maybe a little bit too much.
Little. Barnes. Obstructed by Lucchetti.
A little bit unlucky there, I think, Lucchetti. I think Barnes played for that. Sure, he's trying to get around Lucchetti, but I think the big centre-half... Oh, I didn't see the right... I didn't see the right forearm come out. Another good decision for the ref.
I think Bury's fans have their hearts in their mouths when every free-kicking corner floated in, but Kiley seems to have got his confidence back. Well, he bought from York in the summer, and the tribunal forced Bury to pay £125,000 for him. A busy man tonight. Dawes looking to give Russell some trouble. It's headed behind by Parkinson for the corner, with Jepson just behind him.
A good header from Parkinson, but once again, Jepson behind him. There was also another Bury player there. And then you've got to attack them balls. You know, Parkinson's done his job well, but Jepson's got to get on the end of them, I think, with a challenge.
Matthews hasn't had the greatest of luck with corners so far, and Hoyland gets that one away. Second bite at the cherry, though, for Rob Matthews. And Butler's there, and it's just over the top of his head.
Just as well for Burnley. It was just over the top of his head. Matthews finding him at the far post. Long searching cross. You wonder really, should Wayne Russell be coming for this? Because this is only 4 yards out. Good sweeping cross from Matthews. And that's right in the 6-yard box.
Played out in a competitive spirit, and it's a vibrant atmosphere here at Turf Moor tonight. I can assure you from the first-hand experience that every time a goal has gone in, this stand has vibrated, generated plenty of noise. There's still a little bit of anxiety on the faces, though, despite the 3-1 lead.
Yeah, 4th one seals it all up, but well, the minutes are ticking by now. If Berry were to get one, I think we'd have a cracking finale. From a neutral's point of view, of course, Rob.
From Brass into the night air, almost landed for Little though.
Burnley's got to start getting it wide again, right and left. They don't, I think Berry will start pushing them back.
Wide on the left, so it's a direct one forward from Smith.
A good player, the boy, there's no doubt. There's no reason, you can see why those premierships and higher league clubs having a look at him, because silky skills, good vision, and a thunderous right foot for that second goal.
Burnley actually took a lot of criticism for the way they approached their recent FA Cup tie at Anfield when they restricted Liverpool to a 1-0 win. And although they did employ a more defensive outlook, Adrian Heath's outlook was perhaps that their best option was to bring Liverpool back to Turf Moor for a replay. They're demonstrating tonight what a useful attacking force they can be.
It's difficult for a second division club who like to play the football. You can't go to Anfield and outplay Liverpool. Not when you're a couple of leagues below. I think Adrian Heath, it's not pretty, but he probably had the right idea. But unfortunately for Burnley supporters, Liverpool got the vital goal.
Because he was only too aware of the hammering that Rochdale had received against Liverpool at the same round of the same competition a year before. The playoffs at least have to be Burnley's priority. Bury have had plenty of involvement at that stage of the season in previous years. They've reached the playoffs 4 times in the last 7 seasons. Matthews cutting this one in. Russell emerging safely.
Yeah, that's better from Wayne Russell, because Matthews wasted no time in whipping that in right-footed, but Russell had a good look at it, and he's pounced on it. Good goalkeeping. I think the referee's spot on again here. I think Smith went down. I think he's a little bit tired because he was doing a little bit of doggies here. That's why the Bury defender said get up. I don't think there was too much contact here. Here's a challenge coming now. Well, maybe a little. I think Smith's maybe dived a little bit too high there.
No card produced. Free kick, the only punishment given by Trevor West. Header clear to Smith. He's done his reputation no harm so far tonight. This is Matthews. This is Randall. Little and Hoyland converged on him, but then left the pieces to John Rose. It was left behind John O'Kane.
I think someone's got to tell John Rose that they're in white and blue, because his distribution the last few times, just when Bury are trying to catch him on the counter, has been dreadful. I'm sure he's a lot better than that.
Swan. Hopeful one from Parkinson. This is Dawes. This is West. Challenged by Gleghorn. Jepson.
Berry with a lot of possession second half, Rob, but to be honest, they're not really troubling Burnley.
A surprise there, the referee's given a corner. Well, he's had a good game tonight, Trevor West, but I must admit I didn't see a Burnley touch there. Taken by Matthews. Leketti's header, cleared by Hoyland.
Tell you what a good clearance that was. I just get the feeling this is not over yet, Rob.
Well, they're making a decent fight of it, and they've still got plenty of time on their side, provided they don't concede one, Berry. And they're looking very hungry as West gets it across towards John Rose. Little and Parkinson climbing over each other to get that one clear, but it's Lenny John Rose again. Matthews, he looks dangerous every time he gets the ball on this side, giving Ayres the run around again. Behind by Hoyland for the corner.
He's the man, he's the outlet ball. Give it to Matthews, because he's the one. He likes to run at defenders, but to be fair to him, give him a chance, he'll whip it in.
Well, they're really baring their teeth now. Berry, and the goalkeeper didn't get the corner.
It's again, beautiful ball, but Berry just, they don't have enough players attacking the ball. You know, the likes of Jepson and people like that, you know, there's no one attacking it. That's a perfectly good ball.
Sometimes Nicky Dawes' throw-ins can be as good as a corner. And here he goes to launch one now. Leketty challenging the goalkeeper, who punched it behind for another corner.
Good pressure. Good pressure from Berry the second half. Are they going to get a second goal? Not unless you attack it. Good movement, attack the ball.
Look how many corners they've had. Matthews with the latest, headed away by Parkinson from right in front of the goalkeeper. And there was a foul there on Paul Barnes, which has given Burnley a useful free kick to relieve some of the pressure. Berry were demanding a lot of questions then of that Burnley defence. And it's in that sort of spell that a 3-1 lead starts to look less secure. Tony Rigby is warming up. Possible substitution to be made by Berry to try and carry on the impetus that they've already started in the second half.
Doesn't look too happy, does he? He wants to get on.
Well, if they need goals, Berry, they've got a 13-goal man waiting by the touchline. Their leading scorer this season, Mark Carter, not in the starting lineup this evening. The former Barnet man has a prolific scoring record.
I know he's in the twilight of his career, but I must admit, I for one was a little bit surprised he wasn't playing from the start. But what can you say? 3 goals his side have scored, so Adrian Heath definitely justified leading his top scorer out.
Nogan, and Little let it go, and he was really unaware of where Parkinson was standing. Randall, given away to Chris Brass. Here's Jepson, who was put in the Berry team ahead of Carter, and has not only been recalled to the lineup tonight, but has also been given the captain's armband.
Yeah, I'm getting it wrong there with Carter on the bench for Berry. He's the top scorer. When you're 3-1 down, it's surprising he's not on the park.
Still waiting his chance, Mark Carter on the sidelines. Possible break on here. It's a useful 1-2. Turned behind by Swan.
Good run again from Matthews, wasn't it? Swan doing his job well, but Matthews has really been the thorn in this Burnley side. positive running, coming right along the byline, deciding to use his right foot and not the left corner.
Matthews, having won the corner, takes it, and it's headed behind by Hoyland for another.
Surely this pressure's got to pay off with a second goal, Rob.
Bury are into double figures now in their corner count. Well ahead of Burnley on that front. And fed back in, and John Rose, and it's stopped clear. Well, Swan got himself in the way of that shot from John Rose, and that was a crucial defensive intervention.
What a game the big fella's having, Peter Swan. Giving his side the lead, and I think if that was Swan, that was a great clearance. It certainly looked a second goal for Bury on the cards, but great defending from the big fella.
There he is again. Lenny John Rose. O'Kane trying to hold it on. He did well to resist the pressure from Smith.
Well, this is an excellent opportunity after great pressure again. Over it comes, great strike from John Rose, and look at that, Swan right on the line.
It evaded the goalkeeper, but Swan was having none of it. Jepson. Well, Peter Swan keeping that effort from Lenny John Rose from going into the net. And John Rose, it seems, is shortly about to take his leave of the field.
Well, it's probably me and my big mouth again, but goodness me, he wasn't half giving the ball away early on in the second half, Rob. When you're under the cosh, you have to keep possession, and you try to catch the home side, Burnley, on the break. You know, they unfortunately kept falling to him for the through ball, and his distribution was terrible. I'm afraid he's going to pay the penalty.
I wonder if they would have changed their minds if that shot had evaded Swan.
I don't think so. That hit the back of the net, 3-2. You don't change anything, I don't think.
But it didn't hit the back of the net, and in consequence, the substitution with Tony Rigby coming on to replace John Rose. And John O'Kane has gone off as well, and Mark Carter is coming on. A double substitution.
I think he had to come on, Carter. If anyone's got you getting back in the match, I know he's come to the twilight of his career, but this man could do it.
Carter was 30 years of age when he actually broke into league football. He was part of Barnett's team promoted from the GM Vauxhall Conference. Had a great scoring record at that level, and got plenty for Bury over the years too. 13 already for them this season.
Incredible, isn't it? Then you go back to the Preston-Blackpool derby, and on came Bennett, who again, twilight's career, and I just wonder if Carter can give the same sort of result as what we've seen up at Preston, where Bennett came on and banged in a couple of goals. Superb.
And it'll be the right tonic for Stan Turnant, who's been hit by flu, if Carter can turn this game around. His last goal in the league was actually against Preston. Now it appears that we've got a problem with the assistant referee.
Stan Tennant, he was sort of saying one of his players, keep your mouth closed, you know, and I thought for 1 minute there one of his players was in trouble. I think it's the old calf's gone. It's a cold night here at Burnley, and I think the right-hand calf just give a little twing.
David Oliver is the man in trouble, and he's going off, and the substitute official is David Entwistle, but he didn't expect to be pressed into action tonight.
Come on, David, you should be ready for to sprint onto the pitch. What's going on here?
Well, here's 18 minutes of fame coming up.
Get a bit of ice on it.
That rare sight of a triple substitution. This is Barnes looking for Nogan, and Barnes has continued his run. And Andrew Wood
Wood got himself in the way. Good play from Barnes and Nogan, especially Nogan. You know, I thought that was very unselfish. I thought he could have gone on his own. But Barnes made his mind up with that run. Great first-time ball, but good defending again.
Woodward, the player who prevented this very useful partnership of Barnes and Nogan adding to the scoreline. Smith's corner, Hoyland came in, and the shot from Nogan, and Barnes trying to force it over the line, and will it go? They're claiming it had gone over, and immediately, I wonder if the reserve officials' eyesight is going to be called into action as to whether that's straight over the line. It was really desperate on the line, but such was the cluster of bodies that the referee intervened.
What a decision that is to make when you've just come on, unexpected. Once again, it's a set piece. Berry don't deal with it, and this should have been all over. What a chance for Barnes. The ball stuck between his legs. I don't think it was anywhere near over the line. Because he's lining the ball, I think the referee stopped it. But Barnes should have scored.
I think the referee was close enough to see, without consulting the new official, that the ball had gone nowhere near over the line, but he just intervened for safety's sake.
Yeah, I think Paul Barnes would be very disappointed with himself. That should have been 4-1.
Casual finish, do you think?
No, he just didn't connect properly.
Paul Barnes will be ruining that. It was a golden opportunity, but it's a lifeline for Bury with 16 minutes to go, and still this 2-goal deficit to overhaul. It's just about manageable as it is at the moment. It's Dawes with a long throw in. And it's a header well wide from Butler.
Yeah, Butler could have done a bit better with that. At least they attacked it this time, but for all Berry's pressure, you know, that's the first time we've seen Paul Butler attack it. And for all the pressure, I just wonder, you know, if they're going to get a second goal, Rob. And at times, it's running on now. And you just feel, well, Burnley, I'm saying that, they should have tied it all up, shouldn't they? A minute ago.
Great chance. Here's Little. Little's taken it too far. Player who was a first-year trainee at Crystal Palace, but came back to these shores after playing for Glentoran.
A good first half, Rob, but he's really been starved with the ball in the second half because Burnley haven't had a lot of possession.
Flicked on by Matthews. Carter looking to get there, and not cleared too far. The shot from Dawes, and it almost crept in. Well, Ayres and Russell can smile now, but that could have been a moment of embarrassment for Burnley.
Goodness me. No wonder Wayne Russell was shaking his head, because this was another golden opportunity. Good defending, but the ball runs loose. And I thought, here we go, second goal. And I know, crikey, on the Burnley shots are sponsored by birthdays. I think it was Wayne Russell's birthday there. That should have been Berry's second goal.
Dawes saw the gap, but Russell just about shut it off. Bury then a hair's breadth away from pulling back a second goal.
I don't think it's going to be the night now, Rob. I think they've had the chances.
That's a confident prediction with 13 minutes still to go.
Excuse me, you fancied Bury.
Well, if Burnley do hold on, it'll be a victory that takes them above their Lancashire rivals. They'll go a place and a point above them.
There's no doubt about it. It'll be a great result for Burnley tonight, but I'll be a little bit disappointed, Adrian Heath. Second half performance. You know, they've taken the foot off the pedal. They've let Bury back in it, even though they've got a 2-goal cushion.
Lucchetti. Matthews. And the ball played through. This is West. 2 to his left if he can feed it across. And it was just in front of Carter.
Well, what a ball this is from Matthews. That is a what a super ball that was. And I think West, well, he's saying someone should be on the end of it. But a great reverse ball. Here's a cross. Now, who's on the end of this? Once again, Carter can't get there. Nor Jepson.
thought it was impressive, but in fact went just behind him. It bisected Jepson and Carter. And Kurt Nogan taken off for Burnley. Andy Cook, who was selected ahead of Nogan when Nogan himself was out of favour, now gets his opportunity.
I don't think you can blame Nogan too much tonight. So this youngster Andy Cook's got a chance. Nogan didn't see too much of the ball. Beautiful 1-2 with his fellow striker partner Barnes. Apart from that, we've not really seen much of him second half.
Immediately involved in the thick of it. Flipped on by Smith. Cook aiming to get there. Smith's cross. It was almost slow motion, that, as it whizzed through.
Well, just as deft as a touch as well from Andy Cook there, but a good ball from this kid. I like the way, sometimes he can overdo it, but I like the way he flipped that one in early. Had that been on target, well, or maybe not enough power. Just a little touch. No one at the far post to tap in.
Slightly too high for Cook, but that would have been an inspired introduction. A player who's in his second full season since arriving from the Welsh League side Newtown. This is Barnes.
He's worked well, Barnes, tonight. Held up well. Distribution's been good.
Number 2, Gary Parkinson. This is Glenn Little. Captain Gleghorn. Ayres linking up well with Cook. Turned away by Woodward.
Well, this is better from Burnley. At long last, they begin to pass the ball in the second half. And they're getting a bit of width now, which caused Berry so much problems in the first.
No doubt about it, Burnley had been resting on their laurels since Ayres' third goal, but they've suddenly remembered the urgency for the points again now, and they're letting Berry know who's boss. This is David Ayres. Well, they've already seen how dangerous his left boot can be. Rigby was in the way of that shot. Smith. Play by Smith. Swan, such a commanding figure.
A good play again from Smith. He's got a clever brain on him. Just sometimes I feel he's got to be a little bit stronger on the ball. But then again, he's only young. This fella's had a good game, Ayres.
Well, in the final 9 minutes, do Berry still have hope, or are Burnley going to get the 4th goal that would surely sew it up? Don't forget, more football action coming up for you on Sky Sports over this weekend. On Sky Sports 1, Super Sunday from 3 o'clock, it's Arsenal against Everton. High scoring fair in our nationwide league offering tonight, which has seen us rattle up our 100th goal in our live matches. Although the scorer of that goal, Rob Matthews, looks like finishing up on the losing side. Here's Liketti. Comfortable one for Wayne Russell.
It'd be nice with one more goal just to finish off with Rob. 4 goals, cracking first half. It's got a little bit quiet second half.
Never satisfied, are you?
I think we needed Berry to sneak one early on.
Typical striker, greedy to the end.
No, you got one. You got a game right this year, yeah. Your predictions.
I'll just try and make you look good. Here's Ayres.
Well, he certainly come into the game full of good form, Rob Berry, but a little bit disappointing up front, to be honest.
Another change being made by Burnley, and Glenn Little, who has evidently been tiring of late, is going off to be replaced by Paul Weller. Brighton born, but actually came to Turf Moor from non-league Welling.
That was a good send-off for Little. The fans here certainly rate him. 1-2 with the keeper, with the referee there.
There's Weller coming into Rigby. Berry continuing to press with Matthews. This is Rigby. Burnley making life hard for them. And they can't work the opening.
Jepson made a little run there, and it was a real difficult ball, and Rigby tried it, but it just breaks down again. You know, they're giving a little band of fans behind the goal so much hope. Jepson making the run, but the ball again not good enough.
Well, this will be a hugely creditable win for Burnley, who were the first leaders of the second division after the opening 2 matches, which they, when they won both of them, have fallen off the pace a little since then, but this will be a great lever for them tonight, particularly against their local rivals. Nicky Dawes looking to change the complexion of the match with another throw-in. It's cleared by Smith.
The old bookies don't get much wrong. They made Burnley favourites, and I'll be honest with you, Rob, I did, because their home form in the league is very, very good. It's on their travels where they sometimes encounter a few problems. But he's got to be delighted.
His team have scored in every single home game that they've played this season, whatever the competition. And they rattled in 3 in the first half hour tonight, and Berry have often puffed and worked hard, but still can't blow Burnley's house down. Stan Turner must be hugely disappointed for a team which really had been in flying form. They've drawn their previous 3 games in a row, but lost just 1 of their last 9 in the league. That was back on the 30th of November. Played in by Randall, headed away as far as West. It's gone West.
Once again, finish. He's tried to bust the back of the net. If you lean back, there's only one result: high over the crossbar. The home fans are happy, Rob. They'll go home happy tonight.
It's a very competitive division, this one.
Is it fair to say they're not too keen on the Blackburn Rovers supporters around these parts?
They looked upon as the real local rivals. And they've seen what's been done there with a bit of financial backing and feel that the potential is here to repeat such a feat. And certainly it's a great stadium worthy of a higher league. West, Jepson.
Yeah, Russell kept his eye on the ball there. Jepson with a little flick, but Russell, there's no way he was going to take his eye off the ball there.
Well, we're saying Burnley have really suffered on their travels, and all of Berry's 5 defeats, as this will surely make it now, have come away from home. Stumbled at Crewe, at Walsall, and at Bristol Rovers, and at Millwall. They look like they're going down to another one here tonight. Another corner to Burnley.
Another nice move. Good passing again. Paul Barnes just trying to whip it across. A corner will do him at this time in the game. 3 minutes remaining. 2-goal cushion. You're in no rush to take this corner.
Still throwing plenty of quick players forward from the back. Randall to Carter. This is Jepson. Jepson losing
Whipping it through. Could be a great opening here, and he's gone down in the box, and it is a penalty. Andy Cook upended. Ketty can complain, but Trevor West points to the spot.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind, I thought this was a pen. Good ball, Cook peeled away here, takes on the right foot, there's the challenge there, just clipped him, but the referee had no doubt. And there's the challenge, the contact. Well, surely now it's all over.
And Paul Barnes, who's got 4 goals in the previous 5 matches, could benefit from Trevor West's decision here, and this could really sew it up. It's Barnes, and the goalkeeper saved it. Well, what a night this has been for Dean Kiley.
Well done, Dean Kiley. I'll be honest with you, I'm delighted with that, because I thought there was going to be tears early on in the match when that third one went past him. Paul Barnes will be angry with himself. I think he's played well, worked hard, great opportunity to get in the shape, but well, good save from the keeper, and Barnes is disgusted.
Well, he's had a couple of opportunities to tie this game up as Barnes. Another one here, perhaps. Ayres. Well, it really has been a night of highs and lows for Dean Kiley, but the Nationwide League man of the match is, of course, a Burnley player, and it's the man who started the goal scoring all off. Peter Swan, who's been a rock at the heart of the defence, made the breakthrough in the first half, and he's the Nationwide League man of the match.
I think he's had a smashing match, the big fella. He's battled Jepson, he's won the battle tonight, make no mistake. And the opening goal was so important for the home side, and I think he deserves it.
Here's Cook. Number 11, Nigel Gleghorn. This is Ayres. Ayres has done well to ride the challenges. Gleghorn, the Burnley captain, on the ball, but free kick has been given. Liking. And we're into the time that's being added on at his discretion now.
I think he's had a good game, Rob, Trevor West. No complaints at all about the referee.
Free kick taken by Woodward, headed away by Hoyland. This is West. Kick too far beyond Jepson. Dawes wins the throw-in, inevitably will take it. And even if they were to score now, you would only feel perhaps that it was a second consolation goal. Everybody except Bury goalkeeper Dean Kiley is inside the Burnley half as Bury continue their pursuit of another goal. And Matthews, who deserves the plaudits for his battling performance, showing a bit of frustration there.
Oh, he's easily been Bury's best player, I think. If only to give him more of the ball.
Butler taking this long throw-in. Ball's floating it across. Jepson coming in to challenge. And Russell completely unfazed.
He's looked very confident on the crosses. There was just one at the far post in the second half where he hesitated, didn't come, but apart from that, Wayne Russell's come and collected almost every cross.
Mixed emotions for Dean Kiley in the Bury goal. May have been flapping for 1 or 2 of the Burnley goals, but he's saved a penalty and made some other crucial saves from open play.
I think the second goal was hugely disappointing for him. He only had to get his fists on the ball. Paul Smith was delighted.
Flag up against Carter from Jepson's flick on.
I feel they may have missed Carter. It's easy to say that now, Rob, but when you know where the back of the net is, that's what's been missing for Bury tonight. They've had enough chances putting the ball into the box, but no one on the end of them. I just wonder, had Carter started, it could have been different.
Stanton opted instead to start with the front line of Jepson and Johnson. Well, the victory cries are already underway, and we've played 3 minutes of stoppage time already. Ayres with the back pass. Carter gamely giving chase for it. Burnley still squeezed back. Have to be some throw in from Dawes. And he hurls it towards Butler. Cleared to Barnes. David Ayres. whistle, so it's a fine Derby Day win for Burnley. A man-of-the-match performance from Peter Swan, who started the goal scoring in that spree in the first half, where Burnley completely unhinged their local rivals. A great first touch and a fine finish from Paul Smith for the second goal, and then Burnley scoring completed with a great left-foot effort from David Ayres, curled around the wall that had tried to guard against the Burnley free kick. Bury offered themselves some hope with an effort from Rob Matthews before half-time, but they couldn't build on that in the second half. Dean Kiley had to make a penalty save and one or two other crucial saves from open play to prevent Burnley from adding to the scoring. All 4 goals scored then in the first half. The first one from a corner, and as Bury failed to pick up Peter Swan, he got the ball in despite West's best efforts on the line to keep it out. A goal that was added to when this free kick was flat tapped by Kiley, and Paul Smith executed it brilliantly. Then Burnley scoring added to with this beautifully curled effort from David Ayres, his 8th goal of the season, and this was the one that offered Bury a chink of optimism. Great finish from Rob Matthews that made it 3-1 at half-time. They pressed resiliently in the second half, but Kiley's penalty save from Paul Barnes prevented Burnley from sewing it up in an even more emphatic fashion. In the end, in the context of the game, the penalty miss didn't matter, because Burnley go home having usurped Bury's position. They leapfrogged their local rivals after this victory. And 2 of the architects, David Ayres, scorer of the 3rd goal, and manager Adrian Heath, are talking now with George Gavin.
David, well done. Did you start the game on rocket fuel?
Yeah, we started the first half very well. Deservedly went up 3 goals and give a silly goal away just before half-time. And it was a battle in the second half.
How much of a platform for you is that now, Adrian?
Well, as I've said to the players all along, and I know I've probably fed up of hearing it locally, but if we play as well as we can, I think we're the best team in this division, and if the players believe in themselves, I don't see any reason why we can't take the form that we play at home away from home. But we're getting better, we are improving, and we've defended well when we've had to second half, but going forward I thought our movement was very good. Got plenty of people in the box, and 3-1, it should have been 4 and 5 first half with the chances we've had. But all credit to the players, they've stuck at it when they've had to dig in second half.
Sweet free kick, wasn't it, David, for you? A specialty of yours?
Well, Barnsley wanted to take it in the first place, but managed to push him away and get a sweet strike on it. I was quite happy with the goal.
Adrian, just a word on Curtin Hogan. Do you think people fully understand the implications of the Bosman ruling for smaller clubs when a player, an asset, can go abroad for nothing at the end of the season?
Well, unless you're in our position, you probably don't. It's all right for the Premier League with all the millions that you fellas give them from Sky, but for the likes of ourselves, Curtin Hogan's a valuable asset to us, and we can't afford, if we were to sell him 500, 600, 700,000, fine, great, but for us to lose him, then I have to go and find another 400 or 500 next year. It's a massive blow for smaller clubs, but unfortunately that's the way we've got to get on with it.
Great result tonight, though. Well done, guys. Thanks very much.
Yeah, done well. Well done.
David Ayres and Adrian Heath reflecting on a match really that had absolutely everything tonight, and 1 or 2 issues of the day as well. 3-1 to Burnley. It finished. Plenty more to come with us this evening, and we'll talk to Dave Bassett and Sam Allardyce after this break.
Sky 1 at 10. Not news, but drama.
When an emergency call goes out,
This is Sam 17 responding.
the beat cops are always first on the scene.
The White House. Suspects, possible hostages in sight.
All right, we're going in.
They never know what they're gonna find. They never know how they're gonna react.
The job scares me to death.
It's starting to scare me too.
Steven Spielberg's High Incident, tonight at 10 on Sky One.
A type of beetle has evolved that, while it looks like any other beetle, has a more powerful muscle structure under its shell. And the only giveaway is a tiny marking on its rear.
Every day, millions of people are saving for the future. But some do better than others. Could Nationwide give you a better savings rate?
You can get it if you really want. You can get it if you really want. You can get it if you really want. But you must try. Try and try. Try and try. You'll succeed at.
Well, could you get a better savings rate? Take the Nationwide Savings Challenge and find out.
They came to Africa.
Bring worlds together.
To find their destiny.
I will never forget the family that I lost.
Together, they would confront a mysterious force of nature. Michael Douglas, Val Kilmer, the ghost and the darkness.
The Comet sale is now on. Check out our sale prices in the Comet Price Index in-store now. Better come to the Comet sale.
You British have started another revolution in my country. You bring us the same technology that you have. So these now get delivered to Europe a week faster than ever before. Long live the revolution.
I got travel insurance from the post office back home. I got it while I was picking up my traveller's checks, so I'm fully covered.
This overnight service from the UK really knocks me out.
Millie, the stripes, the stripes.
Clients just change their mind.
It's purple!
Overnight.
The post office, winning people over all over the world.
American Express, how may I help you?
We've made an arrangement just for our customers.
There are relevant offers on your bill.
This month there's one for a garden centre.
Yes, we can help you with that.
I've arranged a new credit card for you.
It lets you spread payments over time.
Or perhaps you'd prefer our charge card.
Don't worry, we'll get that replacement card to you before you leave on your business trip.
Would it help to change your insurance?
Increase your cover.
Whatever's best for you.
Because we know everyone is different, we help you do more.
Now there are twice as many reasons to keep in touch with BT's friends and family.
Hello? Hi, it's me. Look, I'm trying to organise a get-together.
Great. Sounds great. Yeah, what time should we make it?
So if you're not doing anything, come along.
Good idea. But I can't stay late. I like to be in bed by 9.
BT's friends and family has now doubled in size. You now get 10% off not just 5, but 10 numbers, and it's free to join. So make your list and ring 0800 05 55 55 right now. One of them can be an international number.
I'd love to. You would? Oh, that'd be brilliant.
And one can be a mobile.
I tell you, this digging lark's gonna do me in.
BT's friends and family. It's doubled in size so you can make twice as many savings.
Coming up on Sky Sports 2 on Sunday night at 6:30, another crunch match in the Spanish League as Bobby Robson's Barcelona travel to Real Betis in a real title tussle. We've had our own type of tussle here on Sky Sports 3 tonight. We've been in Lancashire for a promotion battle at the top of the Nationwide Second Division. Finished Burnley 3, Bury 1. That was the score at half-time. Peter Swan, Paul Smith and David Ayres scoring for Burnley. Rob Matthews getting a goal back for Bury. 26 attempts on goal during the game. And for a local derby, no bookings is quite an achievement, isn't it? And the first half action area is very close in the first half. It was 3-1 to Burnley at half-time, as I was saying. And in the second half, we didn't have any other goals, but we did have a penalty incident that we'll talk to the chaps about in a minute. Good attendance as well, 10,526. And we've been at Turf Moor this evening. Let's check out now the top of the second division. And Burnley have leapfrogged over Bury. Burnley in 5th, Bury in 6th place, so they're both still in playoff positions. And Sam Allardyce, you said there'd be 4 goals, but you said it was going to be 2-2. And at 3-1 it stayed. So after how many games you watch where there's, you know, 3 or 4 goals in the first half and you don't get anything in the second half?
Yes, I think you're right, and I think we were getting a little bit worried that it might peter out into nothing in the second half. But we didn't have any goals in the second half, but I thought it was a cracking second half, just as good as the first. Even though there wasn't any goals, me and Dave fancied there were going to be a goal, but certainly plenty of goal-mouth incidents. And either end, I mean, there's the penalty for Burnley, and there's the Burnley's end defendingly. There's the clearances off the line, the one where the keeper's let it through his hands and it's hit the post. And really, you know, at some stages, if a goal had gone in for Bury, it could have been a very tight match.
We'll have a look at Dave in just a moment at the penalty, but the incident, it was definitely a penalty, wasn't it?
Yes, at first I thought the Burnley player sort of made a meal of it, but you can see that Ketty does catch him there, really. You know, he could have ushered him away to the line because he's a quick player, and in that incident, the referee's spot on, and I suppose if you're going to miss a penalty, it's best when you're 3-1 up with a couple of minutes to go.
Well, it was Paul Barnes who stood up to take it against Dean Kiley, and they both played together at York. So
that's
maybe
right,
Kiley
yeah.
had an idea.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I know the feeling with Bruce Dyer and Nigel Martin. But, the goalies seem to be out of sight, the forwards out. But that's right. I mean, I don't think, you know, Paul Barnes hit it as well as he would like to have done. But in fairness to Kiley, he didn't start the game particularly well, but he improved and got some good stops and some. He improved as the game went on. And really, I suppose Stan turned to be thinking, you know, I could have done with that penalty save in a different situation.
Anyway, 3-1 it finished, a really good game. Hope you enjoyed it. And both Burnley and Bury will be interested in what happens at the top of the nationwide Division 2 tomorrow. 3 big games involving the promotion contenders, of course. But a check on the latest news on those games in a moment. But first, the matches involving the 3 leading teams in Division 1. And here's John Roeder with Team Talk.
When Bolton met Wolves at Molineux earlier this season, Colin Todd and Mark McGee didn't exactly see eye to eye. It was a controversial match with John McGinley scoring both goals in Bolton's dramatic 2-1 win. McGinley is expected to return from injury this weekend. The Scottish international striking partner Nathan Blake has now matched him as the First Division's top scorer. Blake moving on to 14 for the season with a brace in the 3-0 win at Portsmouth last Saturday. As a result of that win, Bolton are now 8 points clear at the top. This penalty from Norwich's Neil Adams inflicted Wolves' only away league defeat all season. Wolves on their travels are superb. Burnden Park, beware. Their latest away win came at Tranmere at the end of December. Steve Bull with the goal, his 12th of the season. In defence, Keith Curle has overcome his long injury battle and is now a fixture in the Wolves team. His defensive partner, Dean Richards, was man of the match and scored against West Bromwich Albion last weekend. There's the prospect of a terrific match at Bolton. Barnsley are in formidable form at Oakwell this season, with 6 consecutive victories on their home turf. But the away form is letting Danny Wilson's side down. Defeat at Queen's Park Rangers last weekend, the latest example. Steve Davis faces a layoff after breaking his leg at Loftus Road. And the FA Cup victory over Oldham on Tuesday booked Barnsley a quick return to QPR in the 4th round. Ipswich come to Oakwell on Saturday, the Suffolk side having sold Klaus Thompson to Everton. Third place Sheffield United have joined the rush of clubs to float on the stock exchange this week. It means a cash injection of over £10 million, which can only be good news for Howard Kendall as he aims to keep the Blades' promotion push firmly on course in Saturday's home match against Southend. United's last league win was on Boxing Day over Yorkshire neighbours Bradford, but they suffered a disappointing FA Cup exit at Norwich. This amazing incident summing up their luck on the day. Another downside for Kendall, United's lengthy injury list. David Webb's Brentford top Division 2 and are back to their best. Carl Asaba, who was dropped earlier in the season, is finding top form again. Asaba taking his total for the season to 18 with 2 goals in the Bees' 4-2 win at York last weekend. Nicky Forster also grabbed a couple. And this weekend, Brentford face a tough tie as fellow promotion hopefuls Bristol City come to Griffin Park. Joe Jordan added Paul Allen on a free transfer from Swindon to help City surge up the table. Paul Agostino showed his talents in Sky Sports' recent live game against rivals Bristol Rovers. Sean Gota is in top form, having scored the winner against Burnley last Saturday. While goalkeeper Stuart Naylor plans to appeal against his sending off. City's FA Cup dreams went up in smoke at Chesterfield on Tuesday, but their cup exit could actually be a blessing in disguise as City can now concentrate on their push for promotion. Lenny Lawrence will be pleased just to see his Luton team in action again. They haven't kicked a ball in anger since Boxing Day, when 2 Tony Thorpe goals beat Gillingham. Wrexham are Luton's visitors this weekend, and it's an important game at Kenilworth Road for Brian Flynn's team. They were involved in a thrilling 3-3 draw against Notts County last weekend, with Carl Connolly grabbing 2. But Wrexham's dreams of FA Cup glory were denied by a late postponement at West Ham. Stockport, fresh from their FA Cup win at Stoke, host another great game in Division 2 with Millwall the visitors. Stockport may care to give Wrexham a few tips about West Ham, David Jones' team having knocked the Hammers out of the League Cup with Brett Angel grabbing the winner. In the league, Stockport's last match was the Boxing Day win over Wrexham, while the FA Cup victory at Stoke was Stockport's 10th win in 11 cup ties this season, an amazing record. It's been tough for Millwall boss Jimmy Nicholl recently, but he says he doesn't feel under pressure after Millwall's recent bad run. Ray Wilkins' arrival at the Den is good news for fans and the club. His influence was obvious in the win over Preston last weekend as Millwall came from behind to win. Millwall need to keep their form up at Edgeley Park on Saturday as they attempt to bounce back to Division 1 at the first attempt following their relegation last season.
John Rhoda with Team Talk there, and don't forget you can catch up with all the important goal action from the nationwide weekend games here on Sky Sports 3 at midday on Sunday afternoon. My guests will be Wycombe manager John Gregory and also Portsmouth's Paul Walsh. Sam Allardyce and Dave Bassett have been with us tonight. Sam, your first game in charge at Notts County tomorrow. We wish you the very best of luck. It's a tough game against Gillingham though, isn't it?
It is, and it is a big 6-pointer if you like, and we're playing at home for the first time in the league for a while. Mark's took charge of the team, had a couple of good draws away from home, a good draw against Villa in midweek, and I just want the lads to play the same as those 3 games, and I think we'll be all right.
I wish you well.
Thank you.
I hope to see you soon. Thanks for coming in. And Dave, it's Portsmouth for you tomorrow.
Yes, we've got to get ourselves back after the Leeds game. We played very well midweek, and if we can turn that into league form, we'll be OK. We don't want to after the Lord Mayor show tomorrow, so we need a victory at Selhurst, and we'll be trying to do that, but won't underestimate Portsmouth because they had an excellent win at Wolves recently in the FA Cup.
What about that last-minute penalty then, Dave? That must have been a sickener for you.
Well, it wasn't exactly my most favourite moment, but you know, with the boys that played very, very well, and these things happen, and it's no good making a scapegoat of anybody.
Well, good luck for tomorrow. Good
Thank
to
you.
see you, Dave. We'll see you again soon. Tonight we've been at Turf Moor, the Lancashire derby, 3-1 to Burnley. It finished. Bury tried hard. We had 4 goals and reached our 100th live goal in our live nationwide games, and it all started back in August at Main Road. Good night.
More magic from Kinkatsi. Mona's going in. Good try! Oh, that's a special finish. Sending trying to place it, and it's there! McMahon with a cross, looking for Sheeran! You never write this man Sheeran off! Simons has let it go. Ball could be through here, and is. Vintage Chris Waddle.
Across on Sports 1 next, Dominic Hollier and Gabby Yorith present the Friday football preview from the Sports Centre. While next here on Sports 3, golf as we go inside the PGA Tour.
February, the shortest month. That's not short on great sporting action. Cricket, England continue their tour of New Zealand. Snooker, the International Open. Golf, the Dubai Classic, the South African Open, and the South African PGA. Football, the season's first silverware gets closer with the first leg of both Coca-Cola Cup semi-finals. Table-topping Premiership action as Arsenal entertain Championship rivals Manchester United.
What a smashing goal!
The road to Wembley continues with the world's greatest knockout tournament. It's the 5th round of the FA Cup. And on the 12th, it's an Italian job for Glenn Hoddle's unbeaten England as they face the might of one of Europe's top sides in a crucial World Cup qualifier. Superb live sporting action for February on Sky Sports.
To win the world's top rallies again and again, you need to build a car with outstanding maneuverability. A car that can stand up to any conditions. You must make the best possible use of space. And be at the very forefront of computer technology. Mitsubishi, winners of the 1996 World Rally Drivers' Championship.
Tim Pigott-Smith makes weekday evenings a real prime time on UK Gold because he's starring in The Chief. The Paradise Club is another prime time to watch UK Gold because it stars Leslie Grantham. And guess what? Michael Elphick makes it another prime time on UK Gold because he's starring in Boone. In fact, UK Gold is prime time all the time.
Every 40 seconds, an adult is struck down by a life-threatening illness. but over 50% survive. If you had a heart attack, a stroke or cancer, the last thing you'd want is financial worries. With critical illness cover from Abbey Life, you would receive a cash payment which could be enough to help you back on your feet or even pay off the mortgage. For details of critical illness cover from Abbey Life, call 0800 20 20 40 now.
This Super Sunday at 9, remember the house your parents warned you to stay away from.
Never had anything of this nature.
When you venture inside,
Oh my God.
you'll understand why.
This is our home. This is the way it's gonna stay.
The brand new series of The X-Files, followed by Millennium, part of the new Super Sunday lineup on Sky One.
This is Sky Sports 3.
It's time to hit the road and start up the season. I'm John Cook here at the traditional starting point of the PGA Tour, La Costa Resort and Spa. I'll be your host for this edition of Inside the PGA Tour.
This week on Inside the PGA Tour, the 1997 PGA Tour is underway, and with one swing at the Mercedes Championships, Tiger's the one to catch.
I still have to execute the shot. That's what I kept telling myself. No matter what he has done, I still have to go out there and hit the shot. Just focus on your shot and go ahead and hit it. And that's what I did.
The best of the best honor their own at the PGA Tour Awards Dinner.
More than anything in golf, I don't want to be recognized so much as a good player, as someone who was a good man, a godly man, someone who makes a positive impact on the people around him.
And look for lots of birdies at this week's Bob Hope Chrysler Classic.
In that event, you have to really take it low. You got to get in have the attitude that you got to go for everything. You got to go out there and make birdies, because it's not a tournament where par's going to do you much good.
This is Inside the PGA Tour. John Cook was at the top of his profession. But a 3-year struggle left him looking for answers and questioning his future. When a professional athlete looks inward and begins to doubt his desire to play the game, his competitive edge will disappear, and his career will almost certainly sustain a fatal blow.
Of course you want to have confidence, but I wasn't showing myself any reason why I should. I remember distinctly telling them that I just don't think that I can play anymore. I don't know if I want to put the effort into really getting back. I'm just wore out. A lot of guys go through that saying, well, you hit this one spot and you really start to think about retirement.
John was ready to walk away from the game he loved. 15 years on tour and 3 years without a win had taken its toll.
I think that I've been consistently inconsistent my whole career, and I really, have not stayed away from the peaks and valleys like you try to. And, I love the game. I love to play the game. I love to play.